Nerdrotic.com.
I'm in my workout clothes. It's not formal today, like it ever is. I'm gonna try something different. Let me know if this works, because if this works, then we can go public on Nerdrotic Live and do this while people watch. I mean, that means other people will be joining in the chat. And if it doesn't work, then we'll just do it, and then I'll make it public later. So I'm going to put the link in the community section for the main channel. So if you go to the main channel, you hit that community tab and you're a member of Ja'Loja and higher. Excuse me, I'm drinking coffee. Let me know if this link works. If it doesn't, then I'll just pop it in the chat. Okay. So let's do this. All right. Now it's in there. And I'll just wait and see. And if it doesn't work, I'll pop it in the chat. We're going to probably go, we'll go a little while without going public if it does work. So we can, so the people in the chat can have some time to yourself with each other. Yeah. Just spent the morning looking at Zillow. I'm keeping an eye on the chat too. Oh, it works. It works. Look at that. So again, go to the main channel, Nerdrotic, and look into the community section, and you should be able to see that link, and only the members should be able to get that link. And we got a bunch of people here. So we're going to bring them in just a second. Yeah, I just spent the morning looking at Zillow at some pretty spectacular houses in Texas. For the price of what would be a shack here in California, even in Bakersfield. No offense to anybody who lives in Bakersfield, which is not unlike probably many parts of Texas, to be honest with you. I'm looking at the outskirts of San Antonio, some little towns with some villas. Okay, as long as I can get some internet. Okay, so the studio can hold 12 people. So if you can't get in, we're going to try to rotate as much as possible. And here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. Oh, okay, that's it. Ruben, hang in there, buddy. And then Zoltan, hang in there. I like it better when we can do that because we can see my map. Hello.
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 Hey there.
Hello.
Hello.
All right.
Howdy.
Gary, on the subject of house hunting, I did it. I moved from Massachusetts to Texas 2.5 years ago. My sister looked at this house. We never saw it before we bought it. The first time I saw this house, we got the key. We were handed the keys from the realtor the day we closed. So I'd get a buyer's agent. I'd recommend you get a buyer's agent in Texas. That's a realtor who's working for you, not the seller.
Yeah.
And they will find you stuff before it hits Zillow.
Oh yeah.
Okay. They can get you listings before they're on realtor.com, Zillow.com, any of them. The other one is Yeah, I'm sure you know. The only problem is I don't think you know anybody in the San Antonio area that could go look at the house and check it out personally for you.
I got
But
comics division.
I know. I'm just saying. That's what I did. I mean, you're going to buy the house sight unseen, because if you try and travel to Texas and find a house, the chances of landing it in the time you have, staying here, visiting here, are probably slim. So, because the market's nuts. I mean, it's bad enough here where I live outside of Waco in San Antonio, and from what I hear, it's even crazier.
The only advantage we have is whatever we don't have to go through ESCO. So we'll
Right.
if we put down a deposit and you wait a couple of days and give us a chance to get out there.
Yeah.
There's a good chance.
You can do it. I mean, it's just if you get it literally the some of these places on the bids, that couple of days you might find 5 people who try and outbid you.
Yep.
That's the only
Or
thing.
more.
I mean, if you lock it in and get a commitment, and you're filing paper, your realtor's filing the paperwork to do a sales agreement, you're fine. But you may not have time to get there. I'm just saying, if you get somebody you trust who can go look at a place for you, I would say do that, because then you can do it. Literally, you can make the decision within an hour or two.
Realestateagentsitrust.com. Try that.
Yeah.
That's not a fixed website.
That's a very small website.
Melissa's it is. Melissa's got this. I think she's gonna fly out there in the next couple of days, and then we'll know.
Okay.
So we'll find out. But being a California cash buyer can be an advantage.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So
yeah,
don't have to wait 30 days. It's like we like it. We'll just get it right now.
Right.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. There's a lot to choose from, though. Like, it's crazy. There's a lot of houses for sale. It's nuts.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's fun. I'm having a good time. I love going on. I go on Zillow and I check it out every morning. And it's probably not. I'm probably not good. I hate HOAs. So there's a bunch that are like.
Don't do that.
Stay the hell out of those. Oh no! Don't do that.
No.
No way.
They can take the house away from you if you don't do as they say.
Oh yeah.
It's Nazi Germany in America.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like having Karen for a landlord.
Oh.
Who comes by the house every day?
Yeah.
Not only that, you got people that live next door to you that tell on you for doing crap.
Oh, snitches.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's and I went through that with condominium. I'll never go through that again.
But I'm lucky I never had that problem with my neighbors. I made friends with them.
Good. That's good. I like where I am now. Really cool neighbors. They don't bother us about anything. So and yeah, it's nice. And they were cool in San Francisco, but it was just all the robberies. I told the story. I was on a live stream one time. My neighbor got hot prowled. He got somebody busted in. He had a giant metal gate. They pried the metal gate off and just stormed his house. While I was on the live stream, I heard all this noise. I'm like, what the hell is that? And I ended the live stream, went out, and the cops were all there, and it was crazy.
What did he have in the house?
I don't know.
Prying into.
He was a Chinese consulate. So something.
There's something there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
What's up, Ace Mr. Freeze? How you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I got a funny little story. I got a text from my mom being like, "Can we give away your old comics?" I was like, "Yeah, by all means. These aren't like good comics or nothing. These are, modern era-ish. Not, like 2017, 2018 DC." And I was like, "Yeah, go right ahead." And I was like, "So who are you giving it to?" And she was like, "Well, there's a 10-year-old who is like addicted to screen time. And like they find that comics are really helpful for the young ones to like transition away from screens." And I was like, "Great." I was like, "Fair warning, there's a reason why they stop when they stop. So the kid might feel like there's a sudden drop off, but trust me, don't read farther. You've got about like 200 great comics here. Go at it."
Yep.
So it was a nice, heartwarming little phone call my mom gave me.
That's cool.
Yeah.
In 20 years, you'll find out one of those comics was worth like $1 million.
No, dude, no. I mean, unless like I stopped DC right before, like right during the wedding, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes right up to that.
There's no danger of that happening at all.
Exactly zero danger. I was like, Mom, get rid of it. And my dad was like, "Are you sure?" Like he put them all in plastic. I was like, "Put them in plastic because otherwise they fade away." You know, like, you don't put something away and let it rot. So I was like, we can let this shit go. That was nice.
What do you got
nice.
there, Father? Let's see.
Help the needy.
Help the needy.
Yes, I got that one. Super Dad. Oh, wow. Is that the 70s? Okay.
That's from like the 70s, but I was in Wichita, Kansas not too long ago. I picked up a bunch of these old Star Treks for $3.
Oh, those are awesome.
So
I remember buying those in the truck stops. Those were my kept me from going.
Got one last one.
Got that one too. Yeah. Oh, what the hell are you doing?
I love that top hat.
Yeah. They had Superman doing the silliest stuff. It was funny. Yeah, I don't even know what I know the Alec Baldwin thing is still going, and it's just I don't know. I'll let Ryan handle that one. That's too tragic for me. When somebody dies, and it's just like Brandon Lee, and it looks like Hollywood's going to overreact and take away all the guns.
Oh yeah,
when already trying.
Yeah, Marvel's doing it. They were doing it long before. They made like Falcon and Winter Soldier. There was a lot of knife fighting. They had some guns, but they tried to like really temper it down. Hollywood's gonna get so boring. No guns. Sorry, Father. No sex, but nothing. It'll just be boring.
Pew pew.
Yeah.
How's the boys
going to get boring?
No actual stories.
Yep.
Well, we're gonna get all this because of an inexperienced armorer that was hired to save money.
It was nepotism too, right? It was somebody famous' daughter. And I saw the videos, and yeah,
they're just going to take advantage of that situation, though. It's just the way what they do.
Yeah. Well,
never let a crisis go to waste.
No, and that's been part of the problem. I heard from my buddy before he with Doctor Who. I mean, it wasn't nobody got hurt or anything, but we were talking about the Batwoman situation where the woman got, she got basically run over and is a quadriplegic because she was on her phone. I guess her earphone was on, and I guess some camera crane hit her or something. I can't remember what the exact story, but she's a quadriplegic. So we were talking about it, and he's all, oh yeah, the reason Doctor Who was so late was they had this diversity and inclusion thing with the BBC, so they fired all the people who used to work on Doctor Who were experienced, and they brought in these inexperienced people, and they don't know what they're doing. They just flat out, and it's clear when you see the actual product of Doctor Who. But they're spending to save money. They don't have to pay as much for these people, but it's costing them more because they're making more mistakes and they have to do more reshoots. And there's just like, so we're seeing a lot of that, and that probably had something to do with it too.
Isn't that the same way what they're doing with writers and producers and stuff like that?
Everything.
Getting rid of really good talent and bringing in young morons that don't know what they're doing.
For different reasons.
Well, yeah, they have different reasons for that part, but still, it's the same situation.
Same thing. Yes.
Some of it's to tote the line, the political line, and some of it's to save a buck. And it's really starting to show in the quality of the scripts, the safety on the sets, even beyond Rust. I mean, we're hearing more and more about people getting injured. Indiana Jones injured.
Mm-hmm.
This is the
All
price
they're
you
doing
pay
is filling
for
positions with
this
warm
is the price you
bodies.
pay for hiring these people. Whether it be diversity or saving money, they want the positions of power without having earned it. And we end up with these disasters, and it's like, oh no, how could we have prevented this? Well, reality, and you see it all the time. So
yeah, when the protocols are there, there's plenty of them. Especially after Brandon Lee, they made damn sure that and that was a freak accident.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was just absolute. You know,
1 in a million
happened right. So what's up, Whoopa Troopa?
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I saw Dune yesterday in IMAX.
What did you think?
I liked it. I will say I don't know if it was either where I was seated in the IMAX or if my IMAX didn't do a good job, because everyone had the same not everyone, but I heard people walking out of the theater saying the same thing. But however they did the sound, like there were a lot of times where people would say a line of dialogue and I just couldn't hear it. Like I'd be leaning forward, like, what did they say? And that did leave me confused a bit in times, but it was still a really good movie.
I had to watch the movie on HBO Max with subtitles on. It's the only way I got all of the dialogue.
Huh.
No,
That's
man.
weird. I watched it on HBO Max as well, and some of the dialogue was staticky for some reason.
That's interesting. I wonder if, I guess, I'm just going off of, I don't know where the dialogue comes from on those IMAX screen. There's like if it's a true IMAX, it's like 72 freaking speakers. So I guess they have a center speaker, and maybe that's low, or multiple ones.
Sometimes the mix isn't very
They could have screwed up their IMAX mix.
Yep.
But I mean, you'd have. I don't know if you know, Gary, if those IMAX mixes are general or if there are several IMAX mixes. Because it would seem that would screw up everybody's IMAX game.
That reminds me. They may be going lower quality on the audio engineers. Also, I just bought the Stargate collector's thing on Blu-ray. The 5.1 surround they did in it is atrocious. You can't hear the audio. It's like they're in a barrel. You can't hear them.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
And that's why you buy. I mean, that's part of the reason you buy physical media. You get your nice sound system. You want them to use it all.
Well, I think with Stargate, it's another issue where it's like certain sound stages that you're using. If you're going to get the quote unquote good sound, you're actually going to hear all of the echoing and all of the tinniness. It's you can't upscale something that's not totally meant to be upscaled. It's just DS9 issue. But
well, the original product was very legible in their original mixing for the show.
Yeah, stereo.
There was never a problem with it.
Yeah, I just rewatched all of it. Not all of it, but about 15 years worth of it.
That's a lot.
That's about it. That's about all of it.
That's most of it.
Yeah. I said most of it, not all of it.
You just do that in a weekend, or
everything but universe. 15.
Yeah. So when I got my wisdom teeth out, I'm not good with painkillers, so it was just me and Tylenol and Advil, and so that was great. Stargate.
Good lad. way to man up right there. Stay away from those things and just deal.
I don't think I was manning up. I get super nauseous from any sort of like painkiller, so I was really sort of just like ice creaming it up with Stargate on, being like, go somewhere cool.
Yep.
Okay, O'Neill.
I gotta watch it. I gotta watch Stargate. Once I get, I'm almost done with Babylon 5, which I love. So that'll be the next one.
Yeah, I was waiting for you guys to start watching that before I started watching mine, but I just couldn't wait. I was in the mood.
It's all good.
Hell yeah.
No, I have no idea when we're gonna watch stuff. I gotta call. Big changes are coming. I'm gonna be once we find the house, get the studio, like figure out what the studio is going to be, like if it's going to be in the house or if I'm going to have to build something outside, which I hope I don't. And get that thing up as fast as possible, so I can get into like really like motoring with this channel, because it's been kind of limbo. since I left San Francisco, I've been just kind of doing things when I can. It's worked out fine, but I'm slowly starting to pack this thing up. I'm going to take another video all the way through, and then I'm going to be like, you'll see it starting to disappear and dissipate behind me. It's that time. But yeah, once that happens, I'll be freed up to do a lot more stuff because I'm bringing some people on to help, which I will announce soon. And you may recognize a couple of people. It should be fun. Eric, did you put the don't put the link in the chat? Oh, okay. I guess we won't go public. I guess he missed the first part where I said, Eric, I'm going to put the link in the community section because I was going to go public.
You could delete it, I think.
Yeah, if you could delete that, that'd be cool because we're gonna So I'll repeat it again. We're gonna go public with this one in a few minutes. And if you want to join in, the link will be in the community section for the on the main channel. So go to the main channel, just go to the community section. You'll find the link there, and we'll rotate people in. I'm going to probably just go around the horn and talk to people, and then we'll just rotate. And we'll go public in a few minutes, but I want to give you guys some time in the chat, with some peace and quiet. So yeah, Dune. I thought Dune was good. I thought it was good. A lot of people are just like think it's the greatest thing ever. I didn't feel that strongly about it. I thought it was good, and I want there to be a sequel, and I will see it in the sequel and support it. I thought there's nothing bad about it at all. It's just like the source material is just like not my bag mostly. But it's not my bag. It's a very good film. Gragnock, the gamer, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Just got home a couple of days ago from Rochester, Minnesota. Had a few doctor's appointments on Friday, and they have me feeling a lot better.
Nothing serious, I hope.
Mostly maintenance, but something was rearing its ugly head, which could become very serious.
Uh-oh.
So my immune system, in a sense, is trying to kill me.
Oh, why?
It's just a hyperactive immune system. They don't know why it does it, but they just suppress it, and that's why I went to Rochester.
Okay. So it's something that's treatable?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
So I've been fighting through that the past couple of months, especially last week, and got that taken care of. Watching everything happen around me with the deal with Rust and Alec Baldwin, that was a total mess. I'm watching this unfurl, and it's like, oh my god! And they show the picture of the person and their resume, and they're inexperienced. You have experience with people in place just so you don't have this happen. Now you're on every news feed across the world. So
yeah, you're famous now. But
no one's going to hire you for anything. You might get a job at McDonald's.
Well, here's the deal. I mean, like, what people would not, if this was a different actor, people wouldn't feel this way. So it's Alec Baldwin who has been horrible to his daughter, to the general public, to Trump supporters, to Republicans, not just Trump supporters, Republicans, anybody on the right. He has said he's been bombastic and obnoxious, and it's very hard to have sympathy for somebody you know wouldn't have sympathy for you, but still, I don't think going down that road.
I have sympathy for the families that lost a loved one and another one's in the hospital.
Yeah, like, why do you need sympathy for an actor? I don't give a shit about him.
I try to have some compassion for Alec Baldwin, but it's...
Okay, sympathy might not be the right word. Empathy as a basic human being.
Yeah.
But like, nothing beyond that. I mean, like, this doesn't rock my world or anything. It's a tragedy. Sorry to hear it happen. I would hate to be in that situation, but like accidents like that happen every day. I think all of this is because Alec Baldwin was just such an asshole. He was just a complete asshole, and people are, that this is why I talked about karma on Friday Night Tides. That it wasn't really for Alec Baldwin. It's for, this is why you don't wish death on people. And we see that a lot from a certain side, the psychotic, progressive, cultish left right now, wishing you'd die from COVID and stuff. And this is exactly why you don't do stuff like that, because I believe in karma.
Same here. And I also, Thursday night before I went down over to Rochester, I watched Dune and loved it. It was a great movie. The soundtrack was great. Whenever I didn't have the staticiness during the dialogue, it was wonderful. It's way better. I can't even watch the original Dune from the 80s now, because I turn that on. It's like, oh, this is garbage.
I like the soundtrack. The
soundtrack's cool.
It was Toto, and who else was it? I can't remember. I have it too. God, I love that theme, man.
Also, I got can I share my screen, because I got something to show you. You might like this. It is. That's me with Larry Correa at Uncle Hugo's in Minneapolis.
Oh,
cool.
You meet him in person, warm guy, friendly as heck. He loves to talk about whatever he has going on with books and everything. And that's one of the reasons why he's my most favorite authors. And it's sad to see Uncle Hugo's no longer there. But he's actually did a fundraiser to raise money to rebuild Uncle Hugo's.
Wasn't it burnt down in the riots?
Yes.
Yeah. Because I remember hearing about that. Yeah, that's
And it was a neat bookstore. I mean, the friendliest people, and any book, science fiction book, obscure or common, you can probably find it there. And the owner, I met the owner, talked to him a little bit. Oh, I'm gonna miss that place.
I was going to ask you, Greg, have you read his Tom Stranger stuff?
First book, not the second.
Get the audiobook. It's read by Alec Baldwin.
Not Alec Baldwin. One of the Baldwins.
No, Adam Baldwin. I'm sorry, Adam Baldwin. Totally worth it.
Baldwin, yeah.
The first one
Totally
was good. The second one I want to get. I love Audible.
Well, Audible has the whole collection, and it's all read by Adam.
And the first one was hilarious. I'll read the second one. He gave during his Nemesis signing a little bit of insight. Manatee's getting upset with Bill Nye, the science guy, talking about the raising level of waters, and the manatees are, what's the problem here? Why are you raising such a fuss? We got better real estate options. So
thank you, Greg Knock the Gamer, and I hope you're feeling better, man.
I'm doing a lot better. I just needed a treatment and need to get. Actually, I'm thinking about moving to Oklahoma. I need to get out of Minnesota.
There you go. You can. I guess it's warmer in Oklahoma.
It is. I have a sister there.
A little more sane too.
What?
I've never understood how Minnesota is so blue, being in the Midwest, and insane. But
Minneapolis.
It's Minneapolis.
Yep.
It's Minneapolis, St. Paul, and the arrogance and the stupidity is. If you go outside of the Minneapolis Twin City areas, it's red.
Normal.
Yeah, downtown Minneapolis
runs deep in the middle of the state.
What?
Yep.
But the rot runs deep in the middle of the state.
Yes, I mean we're the only state that vote.
Take it from ones to know, Michigan.
Exactly. I feel your pain from Michigan. I mean, we're the only state that Walter Mondale won in '84. If that tells you anything.
No easy baskets.
Hello, Father.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
So I'm getting ready for the train wreck that is Doctor Who next week. I got my Tom Baker scarf coming. I'm going to hate review it.
Me too, man. Yeah,
You know,
I
my
think if I
motto-
was doing Batwoman, I've got to do, yeah.
My motto, and I've been posting on the Doctor Who Twitter, is may the regeneration be long and painful. For there is much atonement that must be made.
I think there's a lot of people holding out hope that like this flux has something to do with writing her out of the.
I hope. I really hope it's going to take a lot for RTD to win me back.
Not good.
I mean, it's like, you know, they brought back Animaniacs last year, and I was a big fan of it in the 90s, and it's woke.
Yeah.
I mean, they got the original cast, and I didn't even make it through the whole season because it wasn't as fun anymore. So they could bring RTD back, but that doesn't mean anything for me.
Yeah.
They could bring RTD back, but the same people, I think, who forced Moffat to screw up Peter Capaldi's, end of his run, are still there.
I'm going to give it a chance. My patience is going to be very limited, though. I mean, they're going to have a very short limit with me.
Well, I think I don't know if it's going to make it past the announcement of the Doctor, Father.
Well, I saw that. What was it? The 10th companion, Billy, the gay woman, wants a non-binary Doctor.
Of course she does.
The companion from one season. It's like, get here, Bill. Yeah. By the way,
Bill. I'm sorry, it was Bill.
Yeah, Bill. By the way, Bill, were you a lesbian in that year? I wasn't sure. You didn't
I think she was.
Yeah.
I think I heard something about that.
Father, that's my anniversary, and I will be reviewing Doctor Who live, just like the old days, right after it airs in the UK. In the UK, I got my VPN ready.
I got mine too, but I have a class after my third mass, so I probably will be a little bit later in doing mine.
Yeah. I got to remember my password for iPlayer. I got to find out. Yeah, it's God.
I will admit, since I'm in the Midwest, I will admit a little public sin that I did lie to the BBC when I said I do have a tax. What is that? Tax license or TV license?
So odd. Yeah, they're like, "Do you have a license?" And you go, "Yes," and they
yes,
go,
I do.
Yeah,
Father.
So trusting.
Give unto Caesar. Give it unto Caesar.
Hey, you know what they did to the church in the 1500s? I think it's a little. Whatever.
Or are we trying to balance scales historically? Let's begin.
It's payback time.
All right, so just another red shirt. While we're talking to you, we're also going to go public. All right, so
okay.
How you doing, man?
Doing great. I got involved in some absolutely fantastic shows. I had the privilege of being on two of the Band of Brothers discussion shows.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They were awesome. Such a great series.
Which shows did you review?
I reviewed Baston and The Last Patrol with Matt from Foulball Productions.
Baston episode is my favorite.
Yeah, that's intense, and the one after it is as well, because just because the Third Army showed up and opened a corridor to them didn't mean they were done. They some of the most intense fighting is around Foy and after Baston. So yeah, they were great episodes to get to talk about. I enjoyed it a lot.
You know what? I don't think I ever got through it. I meant to, but God, when did that come out? Band of Brothers.
20 years ago. 2001. Right after September 11th.
Yeah.
So this was a 20th anniversary retrospective that Pat S. Produced.
Yeah, I was working a lot back then, so and going through a divorce. So yeah, that's probably why I didn't watch it. I think we're public now. I'm not sure. We'll find out when we see people spill in. But if you are just popping in, this is a members stream. If you are a member and you want to come in and join, we're going to rotate through. You go to the main channel, Nerdrotic, and it will be in the community section. The link for the stream, and we'll start rotating people in. And Ruben, you're going to be in soon, buddy. Thumbs up, buddy. Cool. That's it's you're just doing fun stuff on the internet, and that's good. I think that's proper. I'm just surprised I've been able to review 2 movies this year that I liked. So the Suicide Squad and Dune, but not a thing from Marvel, surprisingly enough. And the Eternals is just around the corner, and it's going to be terrible. So I can actually wait for that. No Unit 60. How you doing?
All right. Haven't seen you since Vegas. Since Vegas. And I was actually surprised on Friday when you read my question. It actually made everybody silent, even as.
What was your question again? Remind me.
What the question was, is it time to sweep the leg?
Yeah, well, I didn't know what we were kind of like. What did that mean?
You
mean like football in a football sense, like sweep the leg?
No, as in a Karate Kid, as in. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was Karate Kid.
Overall, with pop culture, are we
overall? Yes, with everything you come across. Yes.
I think we're kind of trying.
Do you have a problem with that, Mr. Lawrence?
No.
Put him in a body bag.
No mercy.
No mercy.
Netflix's binge freaking model is so dumb. Cobra Kai would be huge if it was weekly. It would be like, it's big now. It would be much bigger. It would be probably the biggest show around.
Probably.
You'd be talking about it. But the binge model's just dumb.
Yeah,
they'll figure it out. I mean, like all the streaming services are starting to abandon it. So,
yep.
And I don't subscribe to Netflix anyway. Yeah, is it time to sweep the leg? I think we've been some of us do it much harder than others, but as far as I'm concerned, I try to point out stuff where I can, and I'm trying to win the hearts and minds of the normies. But I still get, I mean, there's still people out there who don't think Hollywood is woke at all, and we're just making this stuff up.
Yep.
So, I don't know what I can do. There's not much you can do with that.
No.
There's a lot of sheep out there still that either don't want to wake up or are afraid to wake up or just part of the cult.
Yeah.
And it's
a lot of people have a bunch of don't care.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't care.
A lot of black pills, and that's hard to fight too, because the black pill doesn't help at all. Black pill just okay, you're off on your own. You're out of the fight, so you're not part of the change that because we need everybody part of this. We need as many people as possible. Certainly choose your battles for sure, but like if you're out of the battle, like. Then we're waiting for something to change without us taking part in it. You're waiting for somebody else to come in, or what will happen is what happened with the education system, and entertainment that the conservatives and the centrists completely abandoned. Then it just gets taken over, and it takes over our culture. And you see what running away does. It's bad. It's appeasement. So.
It's what they want. They want us out so they can take over and make whatever they want, even if it's garbage. And we're looking for stuff. We find stuff like the Squid Game, which was really good, except for the dialogue, but overdubbing was not that great.
Yeah. Oh, I read I watched the first episode with the overdubbing. It was terrible, so I just did the subs, and it was much better. Much better, except for the American accents in that one episode. Terrible.
Yeah, and I haven't seen Dune yet.
You'll love it.
Yet, although the local the IMAX theater nearest me, which is gosh, at least a half hour away, is not an IMAX theater. I've been to it before.
Yeah.
It's a cheap imitation. And I've also discovered that you don't, if you happen to deal with this, and I do, a very, how do you say it, germaphobe HR and boss at work, if you get sick with a head cold, like I did, and then a little touch of food poisoning, like I did, you got to get one of these.
One of what?
COVID test negative.
Oh,
before you can go back to work.
Do you have a runny nose? Yes. Then we have to stick this probe up your ass.
Yeah, you got to stick that up your nose as far as it'll go.
That Morse code. Let me look. Let's go, Brandon.
Oh.
Now this is the IMAX seats in where I'm in. That's a real IMAX theater, and that's actually pretty good. That's actually a pretty good sales for this theater, which is generally a quiet theater in the small little corner of San Diego County here that I'm in. Yeah,
it's a Sunday.
Yeah, when I went, it was absolutely packed. Like there were maybe 3-4 seats available.
Word of mouth is excellent on this movie, and I saw it on a I was able to see like a legit copy on my projector at home on a legit sound system. I was pretty happy seeing it. I felt like I got the full experience. And I dug it.
Something tells me the Eternals seating won't look the same.
I don't think it will, but they'll say it will. It's going to open to 100 million. That's what they were projecting. Even those early critic reviews were suspect because the word different isn't really, this movie was good. It was just different. So I kind of took that as code as it's shite. Plus my friend who I trust, who liked Black Widow and Shang-Chi, thought it was terrible. Just thought it was utterly terrible.
And one more little thing.
Sure.
When you get established in Texas, wherever it happens to be, instead of paying attention to the local who's running for school board, be one of them. Take that advice for accept or reject it as you will.
Maybe in my retirement I'd run for some. That sounds like work though. But yeah, I'm going somewhere red.
Voice of freedom is eternal vigilance, Gary.
So you don't have to pass high school.
Destroy the system from within.
Teacher board.
Yes. Yeah, well,
Take it back.
My kid's going to get homeschooled, so I mean, unless we find some good private school or something that'll take a special needs kids. A lot of private schools don't take special needs kids, so which is too bad.
Yeah. And with that, I will take my leave.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
Ciao, y'all.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Gary, can I just?
What's up?
Can I just add one more thing and then I'll head out to let someone else get in?
Sure.
I was going to say, while we were talking about Eternals, in your Discord, someone shared an article where they were saying, the Eternals are more powerful than the Avengers or whatever, and which is ridiculous. But like, why does Hollywood just seems to think, people only watch if it's more powerful. Like I was thinking about it, and the first thing I thought of is like one of my favorite episodes of all this animated stuff, like JLU, was an episode entirely about Booster Gold. Like, why do they think that, we have to just make the most powerful people and then people watch it? Why don't they think like, hey, maybe we just develop characters and make it actually a good thing?
Because Marvel has lost their way and they saw the attention that DC was getting, so that like the Eternals is their crack at a DC product. And the Eternals, they're very powerful and generic, and that's why the book was canceled. A Jack Kirby book was canceled in the 70s. And there's not much to them. They got I challenge anybody to remember their names like before Wikipedia. I couldn't name all the Eternals.
They're barely even advertising like the names. Someone said that actually. They're like, wait, what are their names?
No, and if you're an eternal being created by a celestial, why would you be overweight, dad bod, middle ages? I think they're all supposed to be gods, like demigods. So yeah, but I guess they're all just the gods of average, the gods of complacency. I don't know.
That's basically Marvel, right?
Well, you know the rumor who they are, right? Or how they're created.
Well, they're created by the celestials,
but they're robots.
They're organic robots, kind of organic, kind of robot. They're artificial, but they're individual beings. Icarus is a superhero, but it's they might change it in the MCU. I have no idea.
But I posted online. I said that sadly, the Eternals will be the timeless children of the Marvel universe.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to retcon a lot of stuff. What I heard, rumor only, is that they're going to go back to the mythology and change everything in the past. And Marvel will be set upon what the Eternals is going to set. So they're going to ruin everything in the past, and then where it's going to change the future.
Yeah. They said they were going to do that back with Captain Marvel. So Captain Marvel was the first of the retcon of the MCU, and it's Disney wanting to reform it in their image, because remember, they didn't start it. So right. and Kevin Feige, while he was in charge, there was a lot of other people involved, and now Kevin Feige is completely in charge as of Civil War and wants to form it in his image. And the dude is Kathleen Kennedy. He's freaking Kathleen Kennedy. So he's going to go from hero to villain. And I mean, it's unwatchable. I was just looking at the Sideshow. They offered up the Loki 1/6 scale in his suit. I was like, when the fuck's going to get Loki in a suit? In a freaking suit.
Female Loki as well.
There's a Sylvie. Yeah.
All right, Gary, I'm going to drop out and make room.
All right, buddy.
You got people trying to come in, and I've certainly spoken my piece. It's been a blast.
Yeah,
I'll be seeing you around. Take care, everybody.
All righty.
See you, Richard.
Take care.
Take care. Just another Richard.
How you doing?
I am doing fine, Mr. Gary. How are you?
I'm good.
First, this is my second
time.
stream ever on YouTube's. Who's chiming in, man? Jeez.
Sorry, my clock's off whack. I'm going to use that as an excuse to take off. I just wanted to mention that I'm heading to the big city tomorrow. My comic store is having their half-off sales, so I hope to load up.
Cool. I hope you load it too, Father.
I'll let you know when I pick up.
All right.
Happy hunting.
Catch you all later.
Take care, bud.
I'm going to head out too real quick. So thanks for having me.
All righty. Thanks. Take care.
Goodbye.
Anonymous, how are you?
I'm fine again. Thank you.
Yeah. What's on your mind?
Everything. It's just an incredible nightmare that we're living in, and YouTube is keeping me sane, I guess.
That's good. And you guys are keeping us sane.
Yeah, you have talked me into making videos, although they're terrible. But I wasn't planning on doing any content creation, and then I don't know, it just looked like fun. You said do it as a hobby. I don't ever plan on getting monetized or anything like that, but it's pretty cool. I like it. And I like the live stream thing, so maybe I can do that more often.
Yeah, live streaming's fun. I highly recommend it. Hang out with your friends, bullshit, review some TV, have fun, make it a hobby. And for one, it brings more common sense on YouTube, and yeah, it gives you something to do. Especially, it's something easy to do where you don't have to go out. You don't have to it's better than having a band. It's a pain in the ass. You have to buy a bunch of equipment and rely on people to show up on time, which they never do. Yeah.
Been part of all that, man. I had been in the band, been sound recording. My life. That's what I'm using now is my old equipment that I had just laying around.
Sorry, is myself the one that is actually making a lot of background noise, or what? Because I hear like a sound of wind or something like that.
Let me see. Everybody mute your mics. Here, it's rigor mortis. Rigor mortis. You got a lot of background static on it. Hang on, I bet you his mic's up high. Once he unmutes, maybe lower your gain a little bit. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds better.
There we go.
I'm trying to get back to the order we were in. The people I've talked to. Here we go. Yeah. I am encouraged to hear so many of you are starting channels because that's how we infiltrate. If we infiltrate YouTube, YouTube just gets freaking pummeled by common sense. There's not much they can do. We still have a long way to go. Like the leftovers, the H3H3 podcast with what's his face, the Young Turk's nephew, still gets
Hassan.
Yeah, Hassan gets like 500,000 views. So we need to counter that. And whether you like Tim Pool or not, it's good that he gets a lot of people watching his stuff because at least he's in our realm. Again, you might not like everything he has to say, but at least he's within our realm and he gets a lot of attention. There's Crowder and stuff, but we need more of a not as partisan. I mean, get partisan sometimes. You got to get partisan, especially when we're fighting extremism. But some stuff that's not as partisan, more Eric July's.
Yeah.
So
good channel.
Let's be honest. Sometimes you actually, if you want to try to have like an opinion here on YouTube, you actually have to like walk in glass because you don't know when it's gonna come for you. So you actually. Most of the time you want to have an opinion, but when you actually say something like it's actually happened to Adam Krayler, he said like he actually posted an exactly copy from the CDC with stats and everything, and he actually got a strike about misinformation.
Yeah.
What
Adam needs to do is work on his code language.
Yeah,
that really does help. I know people want to be, you want to be edgy and you want to go out there and you don't want to bend your knee to the man, but sometimes you got to be smart. I'm not saying he wasn't smart. Like he just read off the fucking government. He didn't think anything would happen. But with some others, I see like a refusal to stay alive. And free speech is brilliant. I think I'm not an absolutist when it comes to like my channel. But I think like out in the public, you should be able to say or do whatever you want. I think here you should be able to say your do, and we can decide what we want on our own channels. But if I'm absolutist, then I will not be on this platform. And then I'll just be talking to myself. So that doesn't do really any good. So we have to, it sucks. We have to figure out our own language sometimes. And I think most of the content creators have done a really, really good job at it. And then sometimes you have to push the boundaries too. So
I mean, can I be something like a bit sincere? I actually watched yesterday 5 hours of your stream with, Fahrenheitites, and I can't believe some of the things that you say, and you don't have like any kind of trouble. And sometimes I see like something like Eric July said, and he actually gets like a copyright strike or something like that. And it's like, how does it work? I still don't understand how YouTube works. And I'm not even on YouTube. That's the funny part.
It's flagging. It's people flagging, and then people get a target on their back. But YouTube doesn't know anything until somebody brings it to their attention. So it's people ratting out Eric July. And for the most part, the people who don't like us aren't going to sit through 5 hours of a live stream to hear what we're saying. So we're safe for the most part until we get Alex Jones on, and all of a sudden we start getting a lot of attention. And like you see, there's Zen Zoltan, there's so much bullshit that goes on behind the scenes on YouTube. Probably wouldn't shock any of you. It's not for me to say. I don't know the context of everything. I don't participate in any of it. I only hear about it. And, it's really kind of up to you guys to figure out like who's sincere and isn't. And you're very good at it. The audience is smarter than content creators, although a lot of content creators think they're the fucking smartest people in the room. They're not. They're dumbasses for the most part, and including me. And it's with the situation that happened over the weekend, when you see people saying they're for free speech, but then they were trying to take my channel down earlier. Yeah. It's just about a consistency of your message, consistency of argument. That is the main thing that will kill your channel, your argument, your reputation, your integrity when you go completely against what your underlying message is. Mm-hmm. And if it's about, and listen, I'm not perfect on it, but principles. Nick Rekieta did a great live stream. I mentioned it on Friday Night Tights. Go back and watch it if you haven't watched it, and where he talks about principles. Mm-hmm. And he's fucking right. Like, principles matter. What I do here, what we're involved in, matters, and you guys reaffirm that. Ruben, you were there,
right?
You were telling me, you and many others were telling me at the meetup, like, hey, this shit matters. It's important. Don't stop doing it. I heard that over and over and over again.
And we can't stop.
I mean, let's be honest. If you're an hypocrite, sorry, hypocrite. Damn it! Sometimes I lose some of the words. Sorry, I'm from Argentina. If you're a
hypocrite,
there we go. Hypocrite. You can just you change lanes every kind of 5 seconds. You're not gonna have any kind of following, because when you're saying then you change to B, then you change to C, then you change to D. Who's gonna follow you in your own mind? Because your ideas are kind of I'm gonna go with A when it's kind of useful to me, then I'm going to go to B, then I'm going to go to C, then I'm going to go to D, and you never have an opinion made by yourself. You actually don't have any kind of, how can I call it?
You can say that a lot about news media.
I think it's more like you don't have any kind of foundation to yourself, because you don't actually believe in anything. Yeah, that's right, integrity. Let's call it like that, because once you see the hypocrisy of some people, you can't just follow them, because the second that they actually change the lanes just to be in the part of the popular opinion, you lost it, because you don't have any kind of principle. The second that opinion becomes bad, you're going to change lanes again and again and again and again until somebody is going to tell you, okay, dude.
That's exactly what she's like. They want to hear their opinion spit back at them, especially if it's popular. And their opinions will change just as quickly as their preferred, talking head will change it. That's why people still watch the same bad news.
Exactly. It's a cliche, but people say if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Basically, that's the cliche. Yeah. True. Gotta have principles.
And that's the problem that we actually see a lot of YouTube and a lot of let's be honest, the entire media is actually like an hypocrisy walking every kind of second, because they say A, then they say B, and doesn't compute in any kind of way, because you actually have footage of them changing their actual opinion in 5 seconds. So it's like, what is your real opinion about this? And it's like, no, it's okay. Like we see with Joe Rogan the other day, when they actually said to the CNN guy that you actually said that he sorry, I don't want to go to the actual point, because it's bad for this channel. So when they actually said that the media said that I was taking something for horses, and then he says, yeah, well, and he actually started punching him, telling him, be honest, what did you say? And then he actually covered, and 2 days, or was it 1 day after? Well, he actually went to CNN and started telling the 1 day.
Yeah, he flipped back again, and that's they're full of shit. They're not an authoritative source. They're worse. They're worse than InfoWars if you want to look at it objectively, because they're called an authoritative source. Alex Jones is a guy basically by himself doing his own research, coming up with his own ideas. And by the way, for the record, I love Dave Chappelle. I love Alex Jones. I love jokes. I love words.
Me too.
That's called consistency of argument. Mm-hmm. So how you doing, Draco?
Sorry.
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Zen Zoltan, what we're doing is we're going around the horn. We're kind of talking to everybody, and then we're going to rotate.
Yeah, I understand.
So what's up, my man? You're not at work, which is weird. Usually,
No. Yes, usually I'm coming in fuzzy and sounding like I'm at the bottom of a large pool of water. And today we're at home because there are issues with keeping people at work on Sunday. And some people want to do other things. And that's a good thing. But I still volunteer. So sometimes it's just like I'm willing to go. But, you know, that's all right. I get some home time. I get some time to sit here in ZO Command Center, or if I'm not listening to you guys do something, I'm actually doing work around home. Wow, what a thought. But yeah, and I guess I saw Dune, and I liked it, and I thought it was one of the closest things to the book that I had seen in a long time, and I'm going to have to go back and check the book on that. I only got one thing, is that someone would have to correct me, but you know that little prelude that they do at the beginning of the movie?
Mm-hmm.
That's their little signature on the front, because I don't think that is worded anywhere in the book. Almost all the other content of the movie is directly from. It's almost like what the trio did for Lord of the Rings when they were. You can move around words and you can move around phrasing and stuff like that. But at the beginning of that movie, when you have that little scene talking about the people who came to take the stuff from the Fremen and talk about someone who, it's almost like that was their little colonizer moment. It's the closest thing to this thing speaking to that, other than the random, we're going to do this because it's messaging or because someone told us to change Liet Kynes. That was small potatoes compared to that little piece on the front. Other than that, that movie was beautiful. That movie was an actual attempt to speak Herbert's work onto the screen. And I was very impressed with it. I was not as impressed with the original. I was not impressed with the soundtrack and the all that, but I missed that little part, that little sound bite. That's all I'm going to do, because we're not going to do any more of that. But
it's in
the
there.
prophecy theme. Oh my gosh. I cannot take the original prophecy theme away from Dune. It was one of the best things about that 1984 movie. That was great.
That motif is actually in the movie.
Very small snippet.
At the very end.
They put it more in the sci-fi. They put more of it in the sci-fi a miniseries. Has more callbacks to the Brian Eno Toto stuff,
Brian
including
Eno.
the prophecy theme.
That's the name I was looking for. Brian Eno, musical genius. That dude was.
Man.
My only complaint about the movie is I found the characters a little like not bad, but not extraordinary. It's very plot driven. It's very exposition driven. I think the only standout performance was Stellan Skarsgård. I thought everybody else was very competent. It wasn't bad, but it's missing a charm and a levity, and that's just the source material. It's very dense, heavy, serious source material. But even Game of Thrones had levity in the first 4 seasons. There was Tyrion. You were laughing. There's not even a chuckle. There might be a chuckle in the beginning. And I think that's necessary for a movie that's going to be popular to the masses. Now, this is going to be an insanely popular movie to nerds. And it looks like it's catching on, and it's got a good word of mouth. So I hope it does.
That's what I'm hoping.
And we'll see what
I
happens.
actually did. If you want to see it, I don't know. I can also copy this into the stream here. But a question came up on Quora, which has good and bad on it, and I noticed it. Why did J.R.R. Tolkien not like Frank Herbert's Dune? And we have someone who is, I mean, I don't have this guy's pedigree, so I can't tell you a lot, but apparently University of Oxford since 1988, Bachelors of the Arts in English Literature and Language, who spoke on many items about what Tolkien was concerned with and about stories that were good for their own sake, stories that were to write in a way that was suitable for children, ultimately to have a world of grace and kindness, to build an imaginative journey in the world building, that he loved language. He didn't like preachy writing. He did not like modernism. All these things are like heavy. And that's just like a first section of what this guy writes about. I'm going, yes, check all that stuff. That is, these are the reasons that Dune has a harder go than the Lord of the Rings concept.
Lord of the Rings has something Dune doesn't, and it's heart. It's heart.
It does.
Dune does not have heart or soul yet. It might. I haven't read the books. I'm talking about just this movie. It's got a ways to go for me to be like start rooting for Timothée Chalamet, and because it all just looked like, hey, he's the chosen one, and well, it's a prologue. It feels like, and I can clap back on that, but I'm talking about the movie. I'm not talking about the books, what it covers or anything.
Mm-hmm. You're completely correct.
Who's going to complain that they actually killed a black man to become part of the tribe?
Even the Economist.
That's what happens when you have like when you outwoke yourself, right? So like, remember in Timeless Children, they had the wonderful science explorer Tech Keun, who she was an independent woman. She built her own ship. She made her own science. She scienced everything. She went exploring.
Oh my God!
She went exploring by herself, and then she found the little portal baby, and then killed her over and over again. Whoops!
So she went from a heroine to a Second World War person.
Yeah. Yes. She went from
I'm one person who said
to a Yahtzee. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
I'm one person who likes the Dune content, but at least if you ask me that question, Gary, if we're going to find heart in this, not unless they insert it themselves. In my opinion, the original movies don't have that same heart, that same attachment to most characters. You might have bits and pieces here and there with some of the later moments, and realistically, the greatest heart in that movie, you've probably seen it, and that's one reason why I really like, even though he's playing himself for part of that movie, Jason Momoa being Duncan Idaho.
Yeah. He was the swagger. But he's kind of like a Han Solo archetype, right? Like he was Han Solo before Han Solo, because he was kind of like that in the books. Am I not? Correct me if I'm wrong, because I didn't get that far.
Right.
So he was kind of a swashbuckler, kind of a.
And if you didn't know it, if it didn't show, he is supposed to be very important to Paul and to Paul's family. And that would eventually be a story point.
Well, just on Dune, I'll have you know, Gary, that your review came out about 24 hours or at least 12 hours before The Economist published their review. And they basically quoted you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're like, this would have been better as 2 or 3 movies. This is a prologue, and just like talking about how it like discusses like the common era themes, but that's sort of like already part of the book. So if you're looking for that, like you're sort of going to the right place, but it's not exactly what, it's not exactly common era. So I was just sort of like working yesterday, just like laughing, like, oh man, someone's not doing their job. It's like, shit, we got to review Dune. Nerd Dune. Oh, this guy.
Shit. That review was done on the I had recorded it. I stayed up all night before I got on the plane for Timcast IRL. So I'm like, screw it. I'll just do my Dune review. I'll do a spoiler-free one, and I'll do a bigger one later if I need to. I kind of took inspiration from Jeremy Johns. I'm like, he just kind of says he likes the movie for 6 minutes, and says he likes a couple scenes and doesn't really. I'm like, I'll do that. Fuck it, and had it done.
And
And then I got a copyright strike, and I'm like, fuck this. I'm tired of getting these things. And Ryan had mentioned that he fights them all because I had never bothered fighting them before. So I'm like, Ryan, what do you do to fight them? And he gives me this template that I think they got from Jeremy's attorney. So I just used the template, filled in a couple of blanks, sent it, 1 in 20. I'm all, holy shit.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I don't know why I just waited to put it out till a little closer to the movie, but it was done. Some people got to see it because I accidentally, when I was on my way to the airport, I sat on my phone and it put it in the new release playlist. So like 117 people got to see it beforehand, but that's cool.
Posted.
I butt posted. I did.
Oh no.
Right. So apparently I can't make this public through StreamYard. So I have my second computer here and I'm about to make it public now.
Is your computer working, Gary?
It's working enough. They're gonna send me a new. They kept on. I called them and they were really nice. I should have called them sooner. So they had me run some tests and the tests came out fine. We did but then they asked me to do a memory test. So I did a memory test and the memory test came up clean, but the memory test took 8 hours.
No, shouldn't do
that. Hours. So they're like, oh, that's a problem. It normally takes like 4, not 8.
You have a small enough that it will only take 4 and it took 8. I get it now.
So I just said, they're like, oh, well, they said, we're going to send you some stuff that you can put in yourself. I'm like, no, you're sending me a new computer and I will send you this one back. And at first they said no. And then I said, no, you're sending me a new computer and I'm sending this one back. And then they said yes. I was just very.
I love
Origin. No, but I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You just got to be like firm with these people. You know what I mean? It's like because they don't want to lose money, but I paid enough to where I could say stuff like that. There's no way.
No disrespect, Gary. You don't seem like a person that would be willing to crack open a computer and swap parts.
No, and not with like there's no room to do it. And like they packed everything so tight. I could put in maybe the D drive. I could probably the external hard drive that's mounted on the bottom. That I could do. But you're right. Like anything else, like memory cards and shit, forget it. No way. I can't do that.
Let's be honest. This is Gary. He's not going to do that. He breaks his statues. He's not going to work on his computer.
Yeah, I will. Oh, I will break it. I can't see, so I don't know how to I mean, I'd have to get a magnifying glass and a flashlight, and then I'm out of hands. So
yeah, what's this thing with all the little pins on it?
I mean,
CPU.
I have exactly the same problem, but not because of that. I'm actually good with software, but with hardware, I actually put like the RAM, and I try to squeeze it. It's like only one place, only one way, and I still try to put it. I actually once broke one, so yeah. It was different times, but I still remember it.
Yeah. I don't want to say how much I mean, like, because this is my work computer, so it's like my livelihood is based on it. So I called a company, I had it built to spec, and it cost a lot of money, and it should not be working. Period.
Was it Origin you got it from?
No, I got it from a friend. An audience member emailed me and said, I know somebody at this company. So I got a little money off it, but I was more concerned with, are these people I can talk to if there's something wrong? Right. And I'm glad I did that because at least they talk to you and they're willing to like work with you and stuff, which is the most important part. At least that, it's like something huge like Dell, you would have to go through like a gazillion processes
you'd have to go through Mark.
Yeah, I actually have to do some kind of warranty for a work that I did like back some months ago. And yes, they're awful to actually explain some of the problems that you have, especially with batteries. They don't understand shit about batteries.
When you have these like gaming computers and these pre-builds, apparently they go cheap on the power supply like almost every time.
Yeah,
that's like the biggest problem.
To me, regarding what you're posting right now, Dune and the Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is fantasy. It's about English past for the lore, like the Greek gods and all that. But Dune is our future, so it's more of a history. So they're two different kind of stories. in my
One's
opinion.
fantasy, one's
Dude,
sci-fi. They
Just
are
look-
different.
Don't kill my fantasy. I want to know that if there are magicians in
Yeah,
our
they're
future,
different.
please don't kill my fantasy, man.
That's one of the things is that you talk about the heart, and one of the things he's referring to is Tolkien's world is ultimately of grace and kindness, talking about how you have true heroes in it, like Gandalf and Aragorn, and going down to how he was concerned with heroes, whereas Dune is concerned with anti-heroes. You're not gonna. These things are not of heart. These things are of postmodernism and nihilism that you have nowadays. But
more
it's also
cerebral.
about that
Yeah.
fantasy. It's also about that fantasy, the imaginative journey.
And what's funny is both stories were very popular with the counterculture of the late 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Stories.
They just took it in two different, unique directions.
Yep.
Right.
All right. So do we have some people who are willing to jump out? We got some people to jump.
Yeah, let me get the hell out of here.
Well, I had my 15 minutes, so
I had enough of you guys.
some
I'm gonna
space.
go. But having said that, I'm still gonna keep paying for this, and I'll probably be back next time you do this.
Same here.
So adios. Cheers.
Thanks.
Bye.
I'll see you later.
I'm gonna head out
Thank you
too,
for-
so we can let somebody in.
All right.
I imagine there's a lot of people in the backstage.
There are some people in here that need to get in. So thank you, Gragnock, and I hope you feel better. Okay.
Oh, I'm already feeling better. It's just a process, and it takes a little while to do. But next time you see me, I'll probably look a lot better. Right now, I feel a little weak from the medication, or because it was actually a very tense medication. But we're good.
Cool.
But I'll definitely be back on the next one.
Excellent. Take care, my friend.
Take care.
You too, sir. And everybody, see you soon.
Yeah.
Listen, man.
And I will take my leave too, because I'm certain there's other things that I got to be getting to today, including a place that I said I was going to hang out. So I'm just going to check out, and you guys all have a great rest of your
Don't
stream.
leave
Thank you
on
very
my
much,
account,
Gary.
Jacob.
Thank you for everything you do. And I mean, one of the things is people like you and Doomcock and the rest of the people that we've met in this fandom, this fellowship. I had felt like my compass was slipping when I didn't understand why things were going the way that they did. And the thing is that I was alone. And part of the thing is that the fellowships you guys are building and our own fellowships, and when we get together, I mean, I love hanging out. You've watched it with Foul Ball on Friday nights and things like that. Just keeping the Friday Night Tights thing going, or watching any of your pop culture streams. I feel more like I'm centered now because I know where I am in the fandom, and all of you guys, including you, Gary, I really appreciate it. And thank you for spending time with us.
Amen.
And
You're welcome. Thanks for supporting.
You guys all take care.
Take
And
care.
I'll see ya.
Disney face.
See ya. See face. What's up, Commander? How are you? Marksman, you're next, buddy. Hang in there. We'll get there.
Hello.
It's Draco
Man.
when I have you.
I appreciate you letting me on. Somebody's crunching and crackling at us, but thanks, guys. I'm glad to meet all of you, and I had a lot of fun. And Gary, I'm really appreciative of everything you do. Hell, Friday Night Tights, man. That's a standard watch every Friday.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. It's tons of fun. What is that noise?
I don't know.
Don't know.
Is that 70s rock fan?
It was before he was in, I think.
Sounds like a cat's eating food right in front of the mic.
Yeah, I think that there's some crunching noise. I think it's the
Am I
70 Rocks fan. Yeah, I think. Let's see.
Is this stream being dipped in milk? And we're releasing all the crunchy flavors?
It might be.
Snap, crackle,
Sorry,
pop.
guys.
We need more crusty sugar flakes.
There's Marksman. And WG,
Hello.
hang in there. Hang in there. Oh, Griff, we lost Griff Rider. He'll be back. We'll get you back in, Ryder.
Honk.
So just a real quick reset. If you want to find
It's
the
still
link,
crackling when I've got my mic off. I'm hearing dogs too.
Yeah, we got some dogs in the background, and so
member streams. I expect sound problems.
Yes, well, there always is. So just to whose dogs are barking?
I think it's mine. Let me just see something.
You can just mute when you're. There you go. Okay, so just to reset real quick. If you're a member, you can find the link to get in on the.
Muted and it's still crackling. So.
There we go.
Yeah, it was my neighbor's dog. How the hell? How can I hear it? He's 2 blocks away. God damn it, that dog.
He's just that pissed off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a little thing. How can
he's yelling George?
George!
Right,
maybe he knows you got the better treat, so he's coming in. He's barking in front of your front door right now. So it's like,
yeah,
my food in my place sucks. I'm coming over to you, man.
All right,
we actually had barbecue today, so yeah.
Hang on a second, guys. Hang on a second, guys. I got to reset we're at the top of the hour, so I got to reset that. The link will be at the main channel in the community section. So if you want to pop in, there we go again. So I will find it.
Go check the bell.
Get on over here, you lovely people.
Yeah. So go over there and
yeah, it's 70s rock fan.
Yeah. Just pop back in. I'll let you back in. I'll keep the space open for you. Just back out and pop back in.
All right, guys. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get out
before seems to happen even when I'm on
everything.
Yeah. So I'll keep the spot open for you, 70s rock fan. Just back out and come back in. That might fix it because it might be my audio that's crackling, that's feedbacking and looping through. Because
we'll do. Yeah, we'll do.
Yeah. I'll keep it open for you. And Anonymous, you're gonna go.
I'm gonna get. Thanks, guys. Hail everybody. Hail the fellowship. Hail the chat.
Hail the fellowship.
Hail.
Check the channel out if you want.
Sure, man.
Tell me I suck. I'm all right. I can take it.
All right.
Put it on the chat.
Okay, sure will.
Yeah.
But
take it easy, man. Thank you.
Bye.
We're gonna keep a spot open for that 70s rock fan to come back in, and I think we have enough room for WG too. What's up, WG? How's it going?
Hey there. It's probably been a long time coming, but I just wanted to. And can you hear me? Okay. I'm kind of
yeah.
Okay. I'm a normie. Okay, I'm that guy. But I retired from the Army after almost 22 years, and I was in psychological operations as my field. And I'm on YouTube, and I see this guy who is what I would call a grassroots. Real McCoy broadcaster, and that was Gary, and I was just blown off my heels when I saw him doing intuitively and naturally what I had been trained to do in the Army. And what really enticed me was when Gary says it's not about just an echo chamber, it's about the undecided. It's that middle of the Venn diagram that really is part of culture. That's who we have to go after, and that target audience. And he was 100% right. I agree with, I am a fan of sci-fi and fantasy and stuff, but just to see a guy intuitively, naturally do this, I was very, very impressed. And that's why I got on board with this. And I believe in everything that you've been saying for the most part as well. And
thank you.
And wow. It's really, and I try to do as much as I can to help you, and not try to. I think a lot of people might be enticed to try to, snap link in and then try to. It can get overwhelming, and I think the way you control it and the way you handle it, it just intuitively speaks to it, and it's a form of leadership, Gary. I don't know if you appreciate that word, but it definitely is. And your life story, the adversity, it's all there, and I'm just really, really happy to be a part of this, that you let me, chime in on stupid stuff, make fun of Ryan's Tourette syndrome and stuff, but and it's all in good humor and stuff, but you're able to herd the cats so to speak. And you know, a professional makes something hard look easy. An amateur makes something easy look hard. And you're in the first category there. So just bang on. I don't want to run my soup cooler too much. I have, you know, an overdeveloped opinion on a lot of the topics you guys talk about, but I'll shut up for now. And I'm this is really just a thank you in person. It's been overdue. And I look forward to any meetup you do. I'm near Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and I'm currently an independent contractor for DoD. I retired after, as I said, after about 22 years in the infantry and then PSYOP.
Thank you.
It's not a, you know, if you're an American taxpayer, you're doing your part. So don't, and you know, there are some booger eaters in the military too. So just got to be mindful of that.
Yep.
so yeah, and I got 3.5 years almost in Afghanistan. So I know who some of those booger eaters are. But
thank you for your service, sir.
No, yeah, it's not a big deal, guys. You know, it's I volunteered to do it. It's good stuff, but it's just really fun to be a part of this. And I think, you know, the idea that the fellowship that you are creating, Gary, I'm very honored to, you know, it's like I've known you a lot longer. It sounds silly to say that. And I don't like a lot of stuff that's on YouTube. I just don't gravitate towards it. I'd rather, you know, if you're a fighter bomber, you do neither job well. I'd rather kind of drill in on a specific aspect. And it goes back to culture. And I've done this for a living, you know, for influencing foreign target audiences. And it is absolutely, you know, everything is downstream from that. And you understand that. So what a normie might think is no big deal in a movie, it absolutely is a big deal. Okay. And it has absolutely been corrupted or attempted to be corrupted. You've heard me, you know, text before about the Naked Communist, Skousen's book, where he was an FBI guy who goes back and shows you where the history of malinfluence in American culture has been from Marxists, Leninists. And you've got to understand that it does impact, you know, if you believe in America, this great experiment, it does matter. And you know, you've covered all the bases. I like, and I don't always agree with everything that, you know, everyone that's on there, but it's about that arena of ideas, and you challenge ideas. I think it's just wonderful. And it's for me, that's really what kind of brought me in more than even just the culture stuff. You know, as a kid, I liked all this stuff for sure. And I hate to see what they've done with it, but it's really been the fact that you've got the full, you know, spectrum. You know, you're looking at this thing holistically, not just like, you know, episode by episode. And I think it's really what drew me in. So anyway, I've run my soup cooler enough, so I'll shut up and let someone else talk. But thank you, Gary. And if you guys ever, you know, if you're going down to Florida, I go down to Tampa often. And if you do the meetup in Orlando, I can help facilitate some logistics with that if you're interested.
I'll get in contact. Yeah, because we do need help. Because it's going to be a big one.
Yeah. Well, I have a relative that's in the adult beverage industry that I can probably help facilitate stuff like that. But I'm down there. I actually have friends that work for Disney. Shame to say, so but I might be able to you know, just help out any way I can with that. And if you're ever near Fort Bragg area, which is right on I-95, just give a shout out. I got your email. I don't know how. I know you're a busy guy. I can hit you up with contact info if you need that. And then thanks, and sorry for the prolonged absence and introduction, but thank you for all you do.
It's nice to meet you, and thank you. And yeah, just shoot me an email. We'll get back to you today, because I'm talking to Jeremy today about it later. We're trying to get some. We're doing an impromptu one in Arizona, and we should have something on that in the next couple of days. Florida we'll probably have an announcement within, I'd say, 2 weeks. And that'll be something bigger than Vegas. That's the plan.
I wanted.
How are you?
Oh, hey, I wanted, to say something following on from that. Like all those people, and certainly not people here in the chat, but you'll get people that come along and will say, "Oh, these hangers-on, these nobodies, they want to get clout." And look, this isn't about me. Like, I've come on here and it's not raised like people watching my channel and that. I've come here because it's like a form of therapy, and like the WG, that gentleman just said, sometimes like culture downstream from politics or whatever, and so this is an outlet for me. And a lot of so-called therapy groups where I live at the moment, and I'm not kidding, we have to introduce our names and say our pronouns. So I'm like, I'm done with all that stuff. Yeah, no, seriously. So I would be like, Stetson Gold, he, him, and we've got a choice not to say it, but if you don't say it, you like stand out. So for me, this is a form of therapy. I look forward to it. I'm here to meet people. I believe in people. All of us, no one's perfect. No one's perfect, but we all have our individual things, and when we come together, that groups, fellowships, that's what's strong. So I just wanted to say that, and just following on from what you said. Oh, I'm getting a bit emotional, but yeah.
No, this stuff's important. Listen, people are always going to say that, and listen, there are going to be people who look for clout, but you've been coming in here for a long time. Before this is our first public live member stream. Just wanted to give people kind of a look. We've been going for like an hour or so already. Just give you a look at look who's here, because the one thing that was great about the meetup is you get to see. I got to see faces with the names, and it's just regular people. It's just it wasn't even like going to a comic convention. It was just like really a good cross section of regular people, and it's like it made it more real, and it made it. It fired all of us up. We were just so inspired by you guys. So after that, and inspired that you started channels. And I'll say it again, like everybody should, even if it's once a week for a hobby, do it.
I will thank Jennifer Cisco for subscribing. I know she's like a mod and she's in the chat, and
Jennifer's awesome.
Yeah, I'd like to thank her for that. So,
well, thank you, Stetson, and WG too. Zan Zoltan, how are you, bud?
Oh, good, man. I was just gonna say exactly the same. I'm actually really appreciative to actually be here. All the time that I've been following you, like from 2018, I think, and I still remember why, because you were actually talking about dispense. That was the first video I saw of you. You were talking about saving the expense. That was the first video I actually watched from you.
Ooh,
and yeah, and I was really captivated to watch that show, and I was like, is this show really good? And I remember I still have to get a response from you from a tweet that I sent you back in that day that you never responded in your DMs, but let's give it out because it was funny. Every year I will still keep trying to get us an answer from you, but anyway.
What?
I actually was thanking you for telling me to watch The Orville and The Expanse. You were the actual person that told me to watch those two shows, and I started following most of those shows around that time. So I was never really a sci-fi guy growing up. I was more like an anime guy and a video game guy. So watching those kinds of shows were not my cup of tea, so to say. But I started watching those kinds of shows, and I actually really enjoyed it. So, anyway. Just wanted to say one thing, and to everyone that is here, two things. One, you can actually become a member in the Nerdrotic channel and actually participate in this show. She actually does it every month or every 2 weeks or around so. So if you want to be like this, like me, like everyone else here, talking to Nerdrotic, Gary, you can actually become a member, and you're going to have a choice to actually participate here, talk about yourself, talk about what you like, what you don't like, and discuss. This is the best, to me, this is a great moment to actually enjoy and share some of your opinions with people that actually understand that everyone's different. And that's all. You can actually enjoy something, you can actually dislike something, but you actually have an opinion. And everyone else has an opinion, and that's great. You actually have to listen to everybody, because your choice is different from others. So that's it. And that's what I like about this place. I actually met like Matt. He's actually a good gamer like me. So
Oh,
we
thank you
actually
very much,
discussed
Jason.
a lot about games tends to go too. I think we actually discussed about some shows. So yeah, that's what I like. I like being here because of that. I like discussing things. And I've lost a lot of that because of this pandemic and everything else. I lost a lot of contact with my friends. So
Quite true.
sometimes, and especially this thing, and this thing only, I lost contact with people that actually enjoy things. They watch the same thing that they watch the normies. Sorry for saying this, the normies, and don't go off from that. I said, do you watch Suspense? No. Do you watch The Orville? No. Did you watch, I don't know, Cobra Kai? No. What did you watch? Squid Game. Oh, okay. Can we discuss about Squid Game? It's the greatest show in the time. And it's like, it was okay. No, it's the best. And I'm like, no, it was okay. It was good. I'm not telling you, it was entertaining, but it was not the best show in the world. And they're like, you don't understand it. It's the best show in the world. And that leads to a discussion that you don't want to have. Anyway.
Well, especially if you compare it to the vandalism of Batwoman and Doctor Who and Star Trek Diarrhea. I mean,
yeah,
Squid Games, I forget, is so way above that, and it's actually somebody trying to put together a coherent story with a plot line, with characters that you can kind of connect to, and it's not intentional vandalism.
I thought television was supposed to be bad.
Well, that's the popular rumor, but not the fact. I mean, if you want to look, here's something that's a little weird. Over-the-air television channels, new ones, you know the ones that are the only ones that are popular are actually expanding and have decent ad rates for advertisers to advertise on? All the new retro channels. Everything else over the air, or like, they add on, if you look like on the different streaming services, they all suck.
Whoa. We got static.
They can't they have no traction, but you open up a new retro channel, immediately they get eyeballs on it because it's quality television. Like right now in LA, they have like 2 new TV channels that like are showing the old reruns of Hawaii Five-0. In fact, it's funny, they have some where like duplicate shows on the same channel, like Cannon's being shown on 2 different channels. The old classic TV. That's what's got traction. Entertainment, and that's what was Squid Games was so great. Compared to the other trash that's coming out, it was fun to watch. You might not agree with everything in it, but at least it was entertainment.
Yeah, the only thing I'm going to say about Squid Games that was really good to me is that you actually care about the characters, and that was an important part of a show. If you don't care about the characters, like, if you kill them.
Which is something you can't say about Star Trek Diarrhea. You hope everybody dies in that show. You hope the ship blows up and they all die.
Squid Game, that's where it wins. The characters are good enough to where you don't pay attention to the massive plot holes. Especially towards the end, because there are massive plot holes, but it doesn't matter because the characters are so damn good in that. And yeah, I think part of it, Zen Zoltan, is where we've been surrounded by so much shit that we just got something good, and it's what Eddie Murphy said. It's the Ritz cracker thing. It's like a man starving in the desert gets a Ritz cracker. It's the greatest thing he ever tasted.
Yeah. But let's be honest. We know about all those alpha shows. Normies don't know about those alpha shows. Some of the normies I know actually watched Batwoman and said it's a okay show. And I'm like, what?
That is if you have a depressed skull fracture.
That's what we're trying to,
I've never seen one person, or even with STV, or Picard, or anything modern Star Trek.
Tim liked Picard, told me right to my face during the live stream. I don't know. He's like, I like Picard, and I'm like, it's the worst thing I've ever seen.
I have a friend that actually enjoyed Watchmen 2. Watchmen 2, come on!
No, but you remember what he mentioned? One thing he said is because he got only one thing out. He said, well, we got a continuation of the storyline. Outside of that, there was nothing else for that show.
No,
and that's what some people do with these shows. They cling to that one little aspect.
Continuation, if you like vandalism.
What WG was referring to earlier, that overall picture that's going on right now, I think the Watchmen was the worst example of a divisive, hateful show that led to with the media constantly pounding the general public with fear and division. And then you had this show, which was the most divisive show And then, last year we had a bunch of riots. We had a bunch of white and black people all together burning shit down, burning down white and black and Asian.
And now everyone's wearing masks.
And a lot of the white people wearing masks. And a lot of that was engineered. And a lot of that was just pure emotion from being told that you live in an unfair system and these people hate you and it's just property and you can burn it down. And it's being woven into scripts. Of course it was going to fucking blow up. Of course, all it took was just one instance that was being filmed. And believe me, that could happen again tomorrow, by the way. And that's what I was talking about. I'm like, this show is mean. Like this show is exploitive. It took one of the worst, one of the most shameful, worst things in our history, the Tulsa riots. Where a kid was lynched, right? And it was like the families were destroyed and all kinds of crazy shit happened. And they turned it into a supervillain scheme, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, it's disgusting, and then like when me and Doomcock called it out, that's the most shit we've ever gotten, was calling that out. And I'm like, I stand by that review more than I stand. I mean,
they spat on history.
And did you find it? Nobody else cares now because that's how it goes. They actually care for like
People
5
still talk
minutes.
about that show. I've never seen hardly anyone mention that show in public.
I have some friend that actually told me like, it's the best show. You have to understand it. It's different. They actually explain the parts of the comic. I'm like, did you read the comic? And he said, no, I watched the movie. And it's like, so you don't understand how the part of the comic goes.
The milk has a longer shelf life than a lot of these modern shows.
The symbolism of the show is Dr. Manhattan hands his balls over to a woman at the end. That's basically what happens. There's one good episode in it though, where
he can actually change races from time to time.
I think I know what you mean. Yeah, was that the one where it actually showed the origin of the reflective guy mask, where the thing actually went off?
Interesting character. Yeah, when they decided to be entertainment. Oh wow, that was good. Too bad the whole show couldn't be like that. But the show is garbage. Total garbage.
Yeah.
If you want to see the best review of it, if I don't know if he still have his, remember Word of Wolf? Wolf used to be part of EFAP. Then he got off the internet because it was just too rough on him. He's a young kid. It was a bit too much, and for his health, he had to back away. And good for him. And he's doing well, by the way. But he did the very best review of Watchmen, bar none, than anybody on the internet. Go watch it if you get a chance. It's fucking great. It's great YouTube.
Okay, I'm gonna head off and let someone else come on. So yeah, I bought my new PC now, so I'm not. Hopefully next time I'll have better sound quality and I'll have better, be able to.
You got a mic?
I haven't got a mic at the moment. No,
Gotta
so
get
I'm
a
gonna
mic.
get a mic. I've got it,
Most
man.
important thing for content creation, a mic. You don't have to get a $400 mic. You can get a $70 mic, but get a mic. Very
Dude,
audio quality is the most important part.
This is a $10 mic, so does it sound good? I don't know.
That sounds pretty decent. Yeah,
yeah, it is a $10 mic.
Sounds good enough.
I will see you all next time, and it would be lovely to actually get together with some of you guys as well, and just I love people bringing people together, and that would. But I'm still working on my channel, still honing my craft, as it were, and it's great to be part of this fellowship. So until next time, I'll see you later.
See ya.
Have a good one.
We're gonna go for about 15. Well, 15 more minutes. We can go for.
All right, I'll go. I'll go. I'll say my part real quick. Just that. Yeah, very much appreciate everything you do, Gary, and been following you. I followed you since early 2019, same time as Doomcock, and just been avidly watching y'all, and just love everything, and looking forward to seeing you come here to Texas, and looking forward to that, seeing your shop, and maybe while I'm there, schedule an appointment with your wife for a haircut.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
You got some style, Matt. You got some.
Thank you
style.
very much. Yeah, thank you. Actually,
bow ties are still cool.
Mhm.
And I like the hat. That I dig it. I dig
No,
it.
thank you. I actually, I got a mass not long ago, and so I'm still in my Sunday best. So it's kind of why.
There you go.
I call it the Sunday best for a reason.
It's cool beans. Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate your support, man.
Oh, you're welcome. Also, regarding Dune, again, I'm kind of general idea of what it's about, but if I do go to theater, it'll probably be with, with a group of friends, and apparently it's good, so I guess I wouldn't mind going to see it.
I think you'll like it.
So I'll be going in kind of blind or not much of an opinion form, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's a good cinematic experience. Like, you have to see it in the theater. I don't think it's a bad time spent at all. Oh, we got some
Yeah, it's a Sky Jumper 12.
Sky Jumper 12, yeah. If you want to, I don't know if that's your computer or not, but if you want to jump back out and jump back in, I'll save a spot for you because that usually fix any audio issues. Ruben.
Hello. Hello.
What's up, Ruben?
Not much. So, Gary, I wanted to thank you so much for everything. I'm really proud of you on Tim Pool. And the first thing I want you to say is my illness is open for anything. It doesn't. It's. Okay. I want people to know, because here's the thing. I want people to know because it's not a limitation for me. It basically empowers me to do more, and I want to help everybody do that. I have content I want to get out there. I have poetry, music. I have opinions. I'm doing all that stuff. So I'm getting it out there. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. I want everybody out to do it there.
Good deal.
And
inspiration, Ruben.
Yeah, thank you. And then regarding Dune, since I consider a Dune, the movie, just an introduction. It's just the beginning. It's an intro. That's all it is. And it's an intro in every way, especially when you come in the music. It is just a rumble. It's the beginning, like Star Trek when we hear that first few notes. That's all it is. And you can see in the movie, when you look at it, it doesn't look like a science fiction movie to me. It looks like a war film to me. It looks like realistic. When you look at those, everything you look at, you're seeing it looks realistic. You see the city, you see the sand build up, and you see it flowing in the wind. It's real. So to me, it looks more. It's a history in a way. And people say, why aren't the colors? It's the desert. There are going to be no colors. No one's going to do anything if you read into everything like that. But again, I tweeted this out. I said it will be the greatest film franchise of all time, only if they greenlight the second and third and fourth and fifth film. If they don't, Warner Brothers, it will be the biggest F up ever if they don't greenlight it.
I think something this dense needs to be a TV series. You can't do it in a movie. Like, even with as dense as that movie is, I heard my friends, they're like, they skipped a bunch of stuff that would have been great context. And Game of Thrones proved you can do it as long as you hire people who are willing to see it through. I mean, like, if you're going to adapt a fantasy novel for a TV series, that's 10 years of your life minimum. You're committing. But dude, you'll be George Lucas. You will be famous and adored if you do it good. So screw doing other projects. Isn't that what you're in? Didn't you go to Hollywood to work and be adored? Most people go to Hollywood to be adored. They want to get attention. There are people who work in the back who who love the craft, but they still want attention. They still have their scripts. Everybody's got a script. So that channel surf. There's a lot of everybody wants their moment in the sun. And I think the movie was good. I think a TV series on HBO Max with a full commitment, and you get a cinematic director like Denis Villeneuve, whatever his last name is, to do it.
Hey, I like him, Gary. I know you weren't a fan of 2049, but I gotta say, there's no bigger Blade Runner fan than me. But hey, I wasn't expecting, Blade Runner. I was expecting something in that storyline, and it could have been better, but I really thought it was good. But and I thought he was brilliant in this. I thought he got great performances. The look of this was fantastic. I think, like you, I didn't even get halfway through the first book, and I had gotten the book from Frank Herbert. I went to a Change of Hobbit. In back in the 80s, it was a great bookstore. It used to be in Westwood. They moved to Santa Monica. I went to
what was it called?
A Change of Hobbit.
Oh,
greatest science fiction bookstore in the world.
Is it gone now, or is it?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it is gone. But they used to have they had a great room where they bring in people. I got to meet Harlan Ellison there. Lot of great, and Douglas Adams. I got Douglas Adams to sign all my Hitchhiker's books, and they would speak, and they had a question and answer, and I was really pumped for the first movie, the Lynch movie, and like I said, the book is a hard slog. And I'm an avid sci-fi reader, but I understood pretty much everything that was going on in the first movie, and the same in this. But yeah, adapting a movie like this is just a monumental task.
And they did a good job.
Yeah,
they did. Like,
I was also kind of reluctant bigging up because I remember you said in your review that seemed more like half of a movie, but if there wasn't going to be a sequel, I was kind of wondering what would be the point. But I guess it apparently is going to have a sequel.
I am confident there will be a sequel. They have to. They have to. As inexpensive as this was for them to make, they're going to have to do something to finish this off.
Yep. And I just don't understand why they don't have it announced already. It makes no sense. It would only help the movie. It would be huge promotion.
It's Warner Brothers. They have Henry Cavill.
They may do what you said, Gary. They may make it a TV series, and they want to bump up their HBO Max figures.
Well, they did have the Sisters, the Bene Gesserit show announced.
Yeah.
Wow, that's the last thing I want to see.
Yeah.
Show.
Well, don't you want to see powerful women? That's kidding.
Yeah.
Wait, Warner Brothers is afraid to plan out any of their stuff. That's basically from everything we've seen, every fiasco. It's pretty obvious they're afraid to plan.
But they've always
can you expect to get anywhere?
But that's a systematic thing with their company too, because this is before anybody who's been a CEO, anybody's been part of this. Like, go back 2 decades. Like, you could have had Michael Keaton and Christopher Reeve together in a Superman and a Batman movie. You could have. They just didn't do it because they didn't think anybody would be. That's the reason they haven't brought Michael Keaton back for just to do Batman Beyond or Dark Knight Returns. That the suits, the bankers, don't think people want to see that. And are you kidding me? Like, Tobey Maguire coming back to do Spider-Man 4 with Sam Raimi it's a $1 billion movie.
Oh, man.
It's a slam dunk. It's the easiest. It's a layup. It's a fucking layup. And the same thing with Batman. And hopefully, I guess the one good thing that could come out of like having to sit through multiple Ezra Millers is if it's successful, maybe they'll think about bringing him back to do because I think Hollywood will figure out, or if they want to survive, that they need to do a lot of fan service. Like, it's got to be fan service for at least the next 2 years, or they're fucked.
But the point being is that those
Good
old
fan
movies
service
had the
or-
wrong message.
Yeah, definitely
They had
good
the
fan
wrong
service.
message.
But sometimes fan service can come, and it actually can be a good story for normies. So it's not so hard, but they don't want to do it. They just want to push an agenda every second of the. It's like everything is a platform nowadays. So when it stops being that, and it just stops being entertaining.
You say you want fan service, but they'll wind up doing the Clone Saga.
Well, I would take the Spider-Man Clone Saga over fucking anything right now, and I hated it. The thing they're using the multiverse though is to try to force the woke characters on us. That's it.
One thing about
nostalgia bait.
Sorry. One thing about fan service though, there's a reason that it's popular with fans. It's because it's good. And so I don't know. I kind of reject the fan service thing. If you want something that's proven that works, you go with what turned fans on. You don't sit there and try to reinvent the wheel. And it's a terrible trend. And so far as the Warner Brothers thing goes, the studio's going through a lot of changes right now. I think that's a big part of why you haven't heard a definitive reason of what's going on. There's been some major changes in leadership, continues to change. So as they shift gears, they're going to come back to this. I'm confident. I really think it's going to happen. May take a while.
Their ultimate goal is to have their control their way, and if they give fan service, a fan service is going to be here's Michael Keaton in a Flash movie, and that's fan service. But the message is going to be woke.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, though. They tried that in Last Jedi. That's the thing with fan service. Fan service will get people in the door. The thing is, if it's not handled correctly, it will not get people to come back.
Of course,
you sort of saw in Last
sequel
Jedi,
trilogy.
But then they retcon it. That's what they want. It's all about money for them. They just want the money. They don't care about it.
Last Jedi wasn't fan service. It was.
Well, they sprinkle in.
No, but I mean the sequel trilogy as a whole. They
service.
built it on fan service to get people in the door.
It was nostalgia bait. Yeah, they used nostalgia, but they didn't execute it. They didn't actually follow through.
Right.
They sprinkled.
No, they executed it. They put a bullet in the back of their head.
Well, they put a bullet in the head, yeah, but their execution of the art form wasn't there. And it was nostalgia bait. I think that's a great term. Came up with.
You think Ghostbusters Afterlife's going to have like nostalgia bait, or is it true fan service?
I got to get a couple super chats here. I was not expecting those. I don't usually get those member streams, so I was like, oh, whoops. But I heard something that I won't ruin. But I heard something that I can't believe they did. But apparently it's making a bunch of people happy. So I'm happy. Yes, there is going to be fan service in Ghostbusters that I think everybody's going to fucking like. But all right. I've heard nothing but good. Like every single person I know, I know about 10 people who have seen the movie. They have not told me the plot. One has only blabbered one thing. And they've all said it really makes up for 2016, and they just had the fans in mind. And wouldn't it be great if the movie that kind of started the linchpin of all the culture war that we've seen as far as film is concerned is the one that kind of turns it around?
And most importantly, it seems like all the critics seem to just hate this movie. The fact that it is shitting on 2016.
When they hate on it, they say the fans love it, but they hate it. Like they separate themselves from the audience, which tells you everything.
That's why they're irrelevant now. So Mexican Iron Man for $49.99. Thanks, buddy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hey, where did it go? It just freaking disappeared on me. Why did it do that? Well, that's annoying.
Gracias, amigo.
Hang on.
Gracias.
I have to go over here now.
A lot of burritos.
Did you all hear?
Oh,
See the 15-minute.
Just a moment. Yes, hang on. I got to get to the.
Yeah, I want to give a big shout out to Mexican Iron Man. I love that guy.
Here,
He's awesome.
I'm a huge fan of Mexican Iron Man. So as I am like quarter black, I'm quarter Mexican, and So I feel a particular affinity towards
Mexican Iron Man
my
says, "Hello,
brother.
Jerry, me and Stone Loki listening from the road in Texas. Are you guys together in the car? What's up, Stone Loki? What's up, Mexican Iron Man? Your future home state of Texas. We wanted to say hi and thank you for all you do. Your brothers, Mike and Loki, say hi. What's up, brothers? Drive safely, and it's great to hear from you." Stone Loki does Loki's Mornings of Mischief on his channel.
Okay.
That's a fun show. And
my work day.
Mexican Iron Man is part of Midnight's Edge now, which is awesome. That's it's cool beans. So thanks.
I love it. He's great on that.
We also had Matt. You didn't need to put in the super chat, dude.
Aw, want to do anyway. It's a drop in the bucket, but
Did everyone see the 15-minute video that Jason Reichman did?
Yes, the commentary for the trailer.
Right. You have to watch it because that makes you realize it's going to be a good film.
I'll check it out.
It's a son who wants to uphold his father's
Exactly.
legacy and continue a story that he himself loves and is a part of. And I'm like that's all I want out of my creators. It's not that much to ask for.
No, it's a really heartfelt like making of. So if you guys haven't seen it, I highly recommend.
You have to.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do.
I'm almost as old as you are, Gary, and I don't remember a lot of movies when I was growing up. You know, the actual instance being in the theater, but Ghostbusters was one of them, and it was a seminal event type movie. I saw it in Colorado Springs as a kid, and it blew the doors off of everybody. It was just. And to see what happened in 2016 was just tripe. And then, so I hope everything you said does bode well for the movie. And I've seen some other things on the internet as well that acknowledge what you've said. So I hope that is the case, because that is one movie I was really angry with what they did in 2016.
Yeah,
so I hope it's better.
No, I still remember I have some kind of conversation with my friends on Facebook that actually sent a messenger like, I think it was like 21-minute sounds of my voice fucking hating that movie. I hated that movie, especially when they killed Bill Murray. That was the moment that I actually started cursing everyone, because it's like, you're killing the character of your own movie because you're trying to prove a point or what? Anyway, I hate that movie.
Okay, I was gonna take off. Didn't want to hog the spot too much, so I'm sorry about that.
We got to go.
Yeah,
in a couple minutes anyway. We got a couple minutes left.
All right, let someone else get my spot. So
yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Gary. Catch you all.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same. Just
Thanks, Zoltan.
Gary,
thanks a lot, man, Gary.
Gary, I'm gonna sign off as well.
Thanks a lot, everyone here too.
Yeah.
See ya, Matt.
See ya. Take care, everybody.
Good to see you guys.
Nice meeting you, WG.
Yeah, hey man, I'm going to hit you up on an email. Your one on your website is good to go. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so I'll hit you up with that. And then one thing I didn't mention as well. I know you have an affinity for the SMOD and all that sort of stuff, but my uncle knows Graham Hancock and he works on that specific issue. So if you ever want to pick my brain, or maybe I can get you in touch with him, he'd be willing to talk to you.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to go with him in January to the site in Jordan of that report about the Middle Eastern city that was destroyed by a object as well. So I'm going to go
by atmospheric. Didn't it explode in the atmosphere?
Yeah, and he's also done stuff he was on the Joe Rogan episode with Graham Hancock about the cataclysmic event with all the ejected material and how they know it was not.
Is he one of the scientists?
Yeah, Malcolm LeCompte is his name. So,
shiza.
Yeah, so he's brilliant. He's my uncle, and he lives in North Carolina with me. And so I'll see. You know, he's gun shy about the internet on going on and doing just anything. But I'll email you my number if you want to call, and then we can talk that over as well. But
yeah, definitely.
Well met to everybody, and keep
well
pressing
met.
on. And I do appreciate what you've done. I can't heap enough praise on you, Gary. It's you're doing the good Lord's work. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a good weekend, and thanks for letting me be part of this.
Thank you
too, bud.
All right, take care.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm
Hey.
sorry I'm limited on time today too, so I gotta hard out, but I'll let as many people in as I can.
All right. Can I just add something to what Zoltan said real quick? Because he mentioned how they keep trying to turn everything to a platform into a message. It reminds me, I forgot which YouTuber I was watching say what he said. They want to politicize everybody, like to get everyone woken up to this. I'm like, years ago, I wasn't involved in any of this. I didn't really pay that much attention. Well, guess what? As they would say, politicized. I've seen the platform. And guess what? I'm not on your side. I'm on this side here. That's the thing. They thought they did all of this assuming everyone who would wake up and join them. Well, guess what? More people than not, I feel, are joining the actual side where it makes sense, where there is common sense, where there are grounding and such, where there is a reality we can follow. It's like what I told you last time, Gary, where I said we are essentially climbing Mount Everest during a blizzard and fighting this war. But the thing is, people remember, as we climb, we are picking up more and more people on the way. We aren't doing this alone. It's going to be one difficult climb. It's going to be brutal. Some people will fall off, but it can be done.
It is a divide and conquer technique here, and watch comics. This is all about segmenting our culture into or fracturing it into as many pieces as possible, so that people can be played against each other. That's what it's all about. It's nothing more, nothing less. This is a true attempt to change our entire way of living. So
yeah, the next big thing we need to do is we need to be coalesced. We are talking to each other here. We bitch and moan about certain things, but we have talents. We went at Las Vegas. You see artists, writers, comics. You see people who do podcasters. All that.
Mm-hmm.
We need to.
I said, we're picking up people on the way. There are other people making the climb too from different sides of the mountain, and we meet up, we intersect, we group together, and we keep making the time. They should just finding all these scattered groups and trying to bring them together to like a more united front in a way.
Yeah, I mean that's why the important part. I mean, we always have to have the alternative, right? We have to point out the good, because not everything is woke and bad. It's most everything right now. It used to be just some, but now it's most everything, and that's why when we get a Suicide Squad or a Dune or Squid Game, it's going to probably get a little overpraised, because this is the worst era of Hollywood I have ever seen.
Yeah, like Squid Game.
I was around during the 50s. I heard the 50s were pretty bad too, but like this seems bad. We got $100 super chat. Oh, Gary, Ironcaster. Ironcaster, my man. And it's saddening to see franchises that we all grew up with and made us into geeks destroyed by corporations that only listen to the biased test audiences instead of fans that kept the stories alive. Reject the corp fic. Oh, I like that. Long live the classics. Thank you, Chris.
Nice.
He's a good man.
I'll tell you what, though, Gary, and thanks for popping me in right at the end, man. But everything I hear about this new Reitman Ghostbusters Afterlife has, I feel like, a bit like Jeremy Renner, right? Like, don't give me hope, right? Don't you do that. Because everything I'm seeing about this, every bad review is screaming, holy shit, he made a good movie. Every good review is screaming, oh my God, he made an amazing movie. So, I mean, one thing, if what we're hearing right now turns out to be true, everybody in this chat, everybody in this fellowship, everybody that is a part of who we are as a fandom menace has got to get out there and vote with our dollars on this. I cannot emphasize that enough. Dune was a good movie. We need to vote with our dollars on it. Don't watch it on HBO Max, not only because you need to watch it on the biggest fucking screen possible, but because you need to show them monetarily that this is the kind of entertainment that we want. This is the kind of entertainment that's going to put money into your pockets. Because at the end of the day, eventually, and the time may be coming sooner than you think with the type of crazy inflation we're going to start running into, what will make them move is their money. if you reward what is good and you don't support monetarily what is bad. So, hey, you know what, Eternals, I'm not going to go see the damn movie. I didn't go see Shang-Chi. Okay, I do not have
you got the high seas.
Disney Plus today. So
But
you
did
have
you see
got
Black
to
Widow?
vote with your wallet on this stuff. The more you vote with your wallet, the more we're going to see the results we need.
And Gary, I want to piggyback off what Jake just said. You also want to be the influencer, right? Amongst your friends and family, be the one that essentially says, no, this is not good. You're going to waste your time, right? Be that influencer. The broader the net, the better. Because a lot of people, for instance, I'm the geek in the family. Everyone comes to me. I say, don't watch this, don't watch that. Be the influencer.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a good point. And you have to be the influencer to the normies. And what's up, George and WG? Yes, burrito. George. We got WG for $100.
I got my bucket list now.
And then we have George Molo for $99.99 saying it's the real him. I guess there's an impersonator going around. Yeah, I'm going to read this, and I got something to say about that. Hi, Gary. This is the real me. In a time of a Beavis Biden, of Frankenstein Fauci torturing beagles. What the fuck? Did you guys see that, by the way?
That's my God.
It was a horror show. We have a fellowship and a film without woke. So that's a great day. All hail the fellowship. All hail the legend of live. All hail the king. All hail Nerdrotic. I can't say that about myself, but thank you. George, like,
love me some George.
He's making the big time, man. Like, think about this. He just started his channel, and he's got 1,000 subs. He's got people impersonating him now on YouTube, and he's a meme that made it on the Timcast IRL, which is just fucking great.
That was brilliant.
Absolutely great.
No.
Yeah.
Seeing how puzzled he was half the fun.
Yeah, I just wish that someday I could afford to give the kind of super chats George does. That's my dream.
Oh, well, I appreciate it. I do, and I don't.
This guy is in big.
George is a successful guy. Like he has a business out there, and he's the boss, man. He's the big boss.
He is the man.
That's a great thing to have.
He's also like the American dream because he's got a survivor story that's unbelievable, and he went from like modest beginnings and having to go through all just personal stuff and was able to use it to succeed, was able to channel it, and that's the kind of stuff that people need to hear.
Yeah, if nobody
channel
out yet, they should
I can
check
tell
out
you
that
from
first
hanging
video.
with him in Vegas, he's one of the best men I've ever met, just as a person too, on top of anything else.
Yeah, hey, Jake, sorry I didn't get to hang with you a whole lot in Vegas. I had a blast there. That was great meeting culture, meeting, of course, Gary. But, man, everybody there, I mean, I can't even, comics. What a great thing that was. And I cannot wait for the next one.
Yeah.
Do you know roughly the dates in Arizona, Gary?
You got Az here.
The Arizona will be early November. I'm going to go up and do one up in LA in late November. And then Orlando is going to be early part of next year. But I'll let you guys, we're going to know Arizona like real soon. Because that was like an impromptu. It started out as like Jeremy and I were going to have a meeting with somebody. And it turned into a meetup. So,
yeah. Sorry to interrupt real quick, but let me know about the late November one so I can, take some time off and try to come over there.
Yeah. I want to. There's a bunch of LA peeps I want to meet. And I'll get Robert Meyer Burnett. We'll get Latino Slant.
Awesome.
Yeah. We'll get the LA
Latino Slant, definitely.
Paulie's fucking great.
He's
He's a little sad today because his Dodgers lost.
I'm gonna be hearing that at work tomorrow.
Doyers.
I don't care. the Dodgers.
Hey, I'm flying to Orlando. I'll go all the way from the left coast all the way across country to do another one of those. Cadzilla and I, we had the best time. So
yeah. And just real quick, like George being impersonated, and like, yeah, people are going after George now. George knows what's up, and it's that's where we're at right now, and that's the constant frustration about this is like we're trying to win the hearts and minds of normies, and we're also trying to keep the fandom from squabbling with each other. That's like that's the last fucking thing we need. We just fall apart, and there are entities who want that to happen, and just keep in mind that that's why I don't acknowledge it. That's why even with the veto thing, it's just like I'll say my piece a little bit and just kind of let it go. I guess he put up an apology or something, but it was right after, right before he went on InfoWars. So I didn't feel like I needed to do anything. I think that just kind of spoke for itself, and I can just move on and keep doing my stuff. That's where I'm at. Vito can do whatever the hell he wants. I don't care. But yeah, that's what we're constantly fighting that stuff, and I just basically don't have time for the games. I'm gonna stick with the mission at hand and just keep going on that, and everything else people can, if the people want to play those games, they can. I'm not taking part in it at all.
Yeah, that's the best thing to do, not acknowledge it and keep up the grind. That's all you can do. Make your money.
Those games are self-destructive because in there, it's like they're saying earlier, people will start seeing your lack of principles. They'll see how you flip out, how you're basically, you have nothing behind you. It's like when you look at Vito and what he was doing, and then you watch that video with George, and even in the video, you can feel like a bit of George's character and just how he carries himself in that aura. I was like, you cannot fake that. There was like
he is George of the jungle.
Boom, 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 boom.
So I was like, yeah, you just leave these people alone long enough, they always destroy themselves.
A poser and imposter will always out themselves. End of story. And again, it becomes like when you start talking about drama and stuff, then it's like I don't want to be I don't want to talk about my channel all the time. My channel. Some way people don't hear me. You guys don't come here to hear me talk about the ins and outs of Nerdrotic. We're talking about
the new Keemstar, Gary.
The channel isn't your personality.
Yeah, we're talking about Dune. We're talking about even Alec Baldwin, only in live streams though. I won't make videos about that. Is that the comic?
This is a comic adaptation of one of the prequel novels.
Sweet.
Which, by the way, Boom. The paper quality is fantastic. That's the first thing I immediately notice every time I pick one of their comics up.
And their art is a little better too. Like IDW has like good paper quality and crappy art. Mr. Butt Crack Media for 50 Canadian pesos says, "Hail Nerdrotic and hail the fabulous Fellowship." I love that the Fellowship is catching on. We're dropping that commie word, community. And because Fellowship feels like something a little more, plus Lord of the Rings, that works.
Wow. Yeah, I really don't like that community word ever since they started doing
I think what works better is community implies everyone is more in like the same sort of group type, like ideology person. Fellowship is more like how you see in Lord of the Rings. It's more of a very diverse group uniting for a common cause. Like you see, like when you got the dwarf and elves, like they obviously hate each other, but because this needs to be solved, they're willing to set aside differences.
Exactly.
Like that's what this whole fandom is. A lot of the things you say, we have to keep ourselves from getting into that inner fandom squabbling we all know and love, because right now there's a job to be done. We have a task to focus on. That's why I think you're right. Fellowship works so much better to describe us.
Exactly.
One of the things I felt,
and it helps. It helps when we can all agree on one thing, and that is we know Deckard is a replicant. So.
Yeah. And it's good we don't agree on everything also too.
So, I was expecting to hear
and that is a cool thing that there is a good healthy debate. I because it gets people to think even more outside the box. So
That's a good thing.
I love it when people don't necessarily agree on some of this stuff.
Question that should have never, ever been answered. You can think Deckard's a replicant, but it should never been answered because then it's just a robot movie about robots.
We'll talk about that in private sometime, Gary.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
talk about that in
Oh, yeah.
You know, one of the things I've come to really appreciate, and I've really noticed as of late, is more and more people are starting to do streams about good shows, about good things they love. It's not all just bitching and moaning about, oh, I can't believe they ruined this or that. No, people are now starting to get to that point where, I mean, Fat Steven Seagal does a Babylon 5 show.
It gets exhausting. You need something to help refresh yourself. Is the good. That's why you see people like, for example, going to the East to find content to get that refresher, to get that joy get out of the freaking rage and depression, because we see all this stuff burning to the ground.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've been doing for my own streams, I'm about 21 episodes into a stream just talk about the original Mobile Suit Gundam.
My latest two Blu-ray purchases.
Yellow Flash Cry.
I got Legend. Finally,
awesome. Was that the Tim Curry movie?
Yes.
Okay, I need to see that.
And I'm going to review this. So,
it's real good.
Good show.
Good show. So, I'm very happy about that. All right. So, hey, we got 70s rock fan. Does somebody want to jump out real quick so he can jump in? And
I'll pop out, Gary. Yeah.
I go. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
And,
great to see you, Jake.
Take care, Jake.
See you in Arizona. And we got 70s rock fans.
Thanks
back.
for dropping out, Jake, buddy. Good to see you, Jake. Hi, everybody. How you all doing?
What's up?
Wow.
Yeah, Aaron Castle. Yeah, we streamed many times before. And hi, everybody else.
I love those bookshelves.
Well, yeah. Well, you know. But Gary, thanks for letting me in.
No,
Sorry about
don't say
earlier. I was on my phone and things were crackling, but I'm home now. I work very early on Sundays. I know everyone wants to say lots of stuff, and I got a couple of things I want to say. First of all, I had the privilege and pleasure of being on Mexican Iron Man's first ever live stream. When we did the Band of Brothers episode 9. And I will dine off that forever. I don't have many firsts on YouTube, but that was a first. And then so Gary, my Mrs. Rock fan, doesn't really keep up on my doings on YouTube, but she said to me yesterday, "Is that nice Gary guy moved to Texas yet?"
That's so sweet.
And then she keeps calling you Neurotic though instead of Nerdrotic, which is
it's applicable, so it's okay.
Yeah. So I just wanted to get those out. You know, I know everyone wants to say stuff, so that was my.
Oh yeah, one thing.
Wow, look at Tom Cruise. Look at how young. Yeah, you get look at. Dude, I love this movie. Especially if you. I mean, don't do acid, but if you do,
it is such a weird, trippy movie. It might make you think you're on acid just watching it.
Yeah.
This was my latest Blu-ray, the special edition of the Thing.
The OG.
That was my latest. It's a UK.
Sweet.
It's a UK region one, but
it's okay.
I got it sent over here to Canada. I got a multi-region player.
Yeah, you get a
back when movies knew how to cast people.
Everybody should have a multi-region player.
Oh, absolutely! You cannot live without that. You can get stuff from anywhere then. But
that's one of the things that
take that off.
That's really hard about buying foreign discs. Is in some regions there are edits that don't have everything. So, like in Europe, there's a lot of things that they don't put in, and then there's additional scenes that they do put in.
That's right. Yeah.
So it is one of the things you have to look out for.
Yep. I happened to get one from my neighbors that didn't want theirs. Theirs is a multi-region player and it also has a VCR built in. So I can play DVDs or old VCR tapes in there. I was like, oh, this is interesting.
The old Go Video used to have those. It was a DVD player and a VHS deck, and you could record your VHSs or your DVDs onto VHS.
Yeah, but definitely go multi-region if you can, and don't be. Some people confuse the whole PAL NTSC thing. That's a video format, not a region locking on Blu-rays. You're going to make sure you get multi-region.
I can't-
Zero Rhymer for $25 says, "Thank you, Gary, for being a cornerstone of the community." Or fellowship. We'll say fellowship. Okay, it's okay. It takes a while to catch on.
Community. Takes a little time to get people using that word.
Community, full immunity.
Sam Whiskey for $9.99 says, "Thanks to Daniel Craig's shenanigans, George Lazenby is now my second favorite 007. Have you seen the docudrama about him called Becoming Bond?" Yes, I have, and it's good. He is the most interesting man in the world. Yeah, it's crazy how he screwed that up, but he probably could have been a good Bond, I think.
Maybe.
He was a good Bond.
Does
and
anybody
he-
remember the website Daniel Craig is not Bond and how much garbage it got back in the day?
Yeah.
I kind of wish I would have been on board with them.
I was against Daniel Craig when I first heard it because I'm like, Bond isn't blonde. He's just not blonde. But I was. But I do have to take off. I'm sorry. So there is a person in the waiting room. I'm sorry, clobbering times, dude. I love you.
Oh, you got to let Clobby in.
Time. Well, we're maxed
buddy.
out. We're maxed out, so I can't.
No, quickly bail out. Bring him in. All right, see you guys.
All right, thanks, Marksman. Love you, man.
Take
All
it
right,
easy.
we're gonna bring in Clobbering Time just to say goodbye. Hi, Clobbering Time.
Clobby.
Hey, man, you didn't have to do that. It's
Does
no
that mean-
biggie.
Does that mean I'm not the oldest guy in the stream now, Clobby?
No, you're still the oldest.
You're
By
still the oldest.
barely. Barely. I'm in
Barely.
second place now. You
And
didn't have to do
we're-
that, Gary. It's cool. I got to listen in the background. That was fine, man.
All good. It's all good. We had people jumping in on on Friday Night Tights. I have put the link up to the stream
Berserker, I got that.
a million times.
I got that cover.
Oh yeah,
I've got that one. Yeah.
But old,
That's cool.
but old Adam Krigler brought it to. That's the difference of me making a mistake and then one of the hosts actually saying something, and that was the first time people tried to come in, and it was kind of funny because we had people coming in showing in their dogs or standing on their bed and walking in circles, and it was kind of funny. I kind of got a good chuckle out of that.
Is that what happened? I had my mic. I was listening. I was just like, what did he
so
do?
I didn't put anybody up, but I was like watching him in the background, just kind of laughing because I'm the only one who could see him. But I would have left him in, but we had, they had access to the private chat. Not that we say anything horrible, but it could dox because some people use names and stuff. And
Oh, yeah.
that
Sure.
kind of stuff. It's going to keep happening until I have an engineer. Which what was that? What was that? Purgatory? Is that Purgatory?
Purgatory.
Yeah. They're still making Purgatory.
Yeah, this just came out Wednesday.
It's stuck in limbo. It's stuck in limbo. They're still making it. Purgatory.
Oh,
you're in
And-
that. You're in that.
Yeah,
Orville.
the Orville comics have been pretty good by Dark Horse.
Yes, they have. All right. Well, hey, thanks everyone for being here, for taking part.
thanks, Gary.
Oh, right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Stream, and it's going to be up on Nerdrotic Live, and we'll do another one next Sunday, and hopefully one in the middle of the week. I'm trying to get a lot of work done. The video I'm working on right now is my goodbye to San Francisco, and depending on if there isn't any big news, working on Picard. So,
wow.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Yeah. So is the goodbye video just going to be you with your middle fingers flashed up the entire time?
Yeah, I think
Like
you
just
and
quiet
George
20
R. R.
minutes,
Martin
middle finger,
are
that's
going to
all you
both
need.
get done at the same time.
We might.
You
But,
should have Dan Vass. He could make you a song. It could be like a 20-minute rock opera epic, and it could just be you with your middle fingers the entire time and a picture of San
Not
Francisco.
such a bad idea.
I was going to go up there and film part of it at the Tenderloin, but there's a bomb cyclone coming today. Today, so that's why my wife
Gary,
is driving down.
Gary, it's called aggressive drizzle.
Aggressive drizzle.
Yeah, it doesn't rain up here.
It's full of microaggressions.
No,
Millions
there's
of them.
supposed to be some atmospheric river semi-cyclone. There's a cyclone hitting Northern California and Washington and Oregon right now. And San Diego is sunny. We don't get that shit down here, but
Hey, Gary, before we go, here a couple of things I discovered this week, actually over a period of time. One I discovered this week, guys. The Last Jedi is a spoof of Star Odyssey, 1979.
Okay.
Look up that movie. It's available online. I did a stream of it this Saturday night on my channel. It's got all the elements of The Last Jedi in it. The multi lightsaber battle, the casino, everything.
Wow.
Gotcha.
And the other thing is, I budgeted over the last 6 months several movies, and one of the things up here in Canada they have is diversity option for grants and subsidies. I think you, if you can contact your buddies in Hollywood and find out if they have the same thing. I think that's why we're getting all this crap shoved into us because there's money.
They absolutely do, especially in comic books. It's been going on for years.
Yep.
Thank you, George. Okay, so Chris for $50 says, "Long live the fellowship, long live this republic. God bless the USA, and God bless Gary for creating the forum for people to chat and share." Well, you're welcome. Thank you.
Chris is a great guy.
Thanks, Gary.
Thank you, George. Thank you,
Thanks,
Clobber
Gary.
Times. That's everybody. Love you guys.
Take
Gotta
care, bud.
run.
Love you.
Get your content out
Bye,
there.
everybody.
Do it.